BigDog.com. It's time to add some spice to your nooner. Nooner funny. This is the place where big-time guests, bold opinions, and little cute doggies come together. This is Rothman and Ice.
Sponsored by Pella Columbus. Windows and doors that go beyond.
And here we go. Welcome in to another edition of Rothman and Ice. I'm Matty Ice. Across from me on the board doing his thing per usual is our guy CB. Timmy Hall on the update desk. And to my left, I got a former Buckeye wide receiver and a Grey Cup MVP by the name of DeVier Posey. Depot, welcome back. Happy Tuesday. How you feeling, big dog?
How you doing, man? What's up, Columbus? I'm doing good, man. It's Taco Tuesdays. We had tacos last night. We jumped the gun, but it's all right, though.
Okay, favorite type of taco? Since you went there, let's just go all in.
So I like those tacos with the baby oil. The burrito tacos.
Those are the hottest tacos in the street right now. Every time I see them on like Food Network or something, I'm like, I need those. I'm a big fan of a grilled shrimp taco. When you get that
we
right.
Had that was on the menu last night.
With some type of like an aioli, some type of sauce on top. Man, I'm all in on a shrimp taco. So yeah, Taco Tuesday, you can never go wrong.
Yes,
with
I did the half shrimp, half beef taco.
Yeah, that's a win.
That's
an absolute win. You got to appreciate the Mexican restaurants because as soon as you sit down, chips and salsa right out of the gate. Yeah, go ahead and bring me some queso too while you're at it. Now you got me hungry, big dog. You know I just eat these scraps all day long. I'm going to be thinking about Mexican all day.
Well, you got to wait because you like you were telling me before the show, you got a big wedding coming up. You got to be able to pop the top, take the shirt off after the wedding, or unbutton the buttons on the dance floor.
Yeah, well, I'm out there two-stepping, doing the Harlem Shake on the dance floor. You know, it's going to be a good time on Friday. So I'm very excited about that. We're going to have some fun today on the show. 12:33, Brenden Deeg. He covers the NFL for the Score. 1:33, Bill Bender from the Sporting News. We'll talk about all things college football. And then at 2:33, Joe Noga from Cleveland.com will hop on and talk about the red-hot Cleveland Guardians. They don't stop winning. They won 4 games in a row, and they're doing their thing in the AL Central. So yesterday on the program, there was another former Buckeye in the house. Actually, 2 of them. We had Tyvis Powell in the house. We had Cardale Jones in the building as well. Cardale previewing his Cardale Jones charity softball game, which is coming up, Depot, on Saturday, July 20th over at Huntington Park. You can get your tickets at BuckeyeCruise.com. Those tickets are $10, and again, that's BuckeyeCruise.com. Yeah. So gates are going to open at 5 p.m. There'll be prizes, contests, a home run derby at 6:30. It looks like Emeka Egbuka is going to make an appearance there. And so that looks to be a very good time.
But, I'm playing in that.
Oh, are you?
Absolutely.
You've been going to the cages? You've been?
No.
Yeah, you're just going to go out there and win it?
This was God-given, baby.
Okay.
You know
I'm not mad at that. Do we have any baseball experience? I don't think we've ever talked about this.
No, I was a track guy in high school.
Okay.
And then, I'll be honest, it was too slow for me. And I don't want to disrespect you because I know your baseball background.
No, you're not disrespecting me.
But to play our park teams, fast guys like myself, they were putting us in the outfield. So I was out there blowing dandelions. Just out there.
Just daydreaming.
Man,
it can be a slow-paced game, especially when you get a pitcher that doesn't throw strikes.
Yep.
Like, come on, man. Like, let's get with the program. See, I was in the infield. There's a lot of action going on in there because I was slow, Depot. I was sloppy and slow. That's why I was in the infield.
Now, I probably would have liked baseball if they had, like, that shot clock they got now.
Yes, speed things up.
I went to a game last year, and I was like, whoa, this is fun.
Yeah.
This is fun. And but back then, man, you could walk people, sit there. It was just like, it was tough to like. But no, I don't have baseball experience, but my uncle played, and we used to, field out in the field for him while he was doing hitting practice and stuff like that. So
So I'm looking forward to see how you do. I'm also looking forward to see how you respond to what Tyvis Powell was saying yesterday. Before you say anything about this highly anticipated showdown between you and Tyvis Powell, he started off the show yesterday.
There's no showdown.
Talking about you, and here's what he had to say.
First of all, me and DeVier always see each other, and we always joke around about it. So one day, I was on the radio station. I was filling in for him. It was his wife's birthday. He does Fan Sports Sundays with Tito. I was filling in for him on that day, and I was telling Tito, I was like, Tito, I definitely think that I would lock DeVier up. And I'm like, even today, like right now, I would definitely lock DeVier up. So Tito being the man he is, obviously he went back and ran and told DeVier, and he felt some type of way, like as if it wasn't true. That's the part that gets me. He says it like it wouldn't happen. Like, so DeVier comes on here and he gives his little take about how he was the guy and I was just a guy at Ohio State. And, I looked at that and I laughed. It was cute. It's a very cute comment to say, because I get where he's coming from. Like, yeah. I get it. That team did go 6-7 too, by the way. But what I was trying to explain to DeVier is,
it's crazy.
Yeah, I play safety because he looks at me like, you're a safety. Mm-hmm. Said, yeah, in college, in the NFL, I play corner. Okay. You gotta go do some research. In the NFL, mm-hmm. and he went to the CFL, but that's neither here nor there. So that's my whole thing with him is that, I can't wait to do this showdown. I'm actually cutting some weight.
So there's a lot of trash talk there.
It was like 4 lies in there.
Okay. So let's address these lies then, please.
Lie number 1. I didn't play on the 6-7 team. I was suspended for 10 games. Do your research. Like what? Like, I played on a 10-1 team just like you did when you guys got lucky and they started playoffs and you got hot. Okay?
Okay.
Let's start there. Number 2, I was a 3rd-round draft pick to the NFL. You weren't drafted. Okay? Like, we're going to hurt some feelings here. And you got cut in the CFL. You didn't even get a cup of coffee. You know what I mean? Number 4, number 3, Tyvis, you didn't last long because you weren't a good corner or safety. We're not in both leagues. Oh, man. Let's just be real here.
Oh, man.
And on top of that, this would never happen because this is beneath me.
Oh, so what you're saying is you're bowing out. This is not happening?
I'm going to take the hot. Coach Tressel always told me, said, man, take the hot, bro.
Okay, because yesterday this went from Tyvis saying that there's going to be 3 reps to Cardale coming in saying that you guys are doing a rep every inning.
No.
So, and you're saying now.
I'll leave. I would leave Cardale's game. I'm not doing this. I'm not coming. I'm not I don't agree. I'm not signing a waiver.
So it's done.
I'm not doing this.
Okay, because we had our boss come down yesterday, and he did say that the winner of this showdown, the stations would donate $1,500 to the charity of your choosing if you do win against Tyvis. Now, Cardale came in here and backed you. Cardale had your back. Cardale said it's not going to matter. My guy Depot can get open. Where I'm going to put the football, Tyvis won't be able to defend it. But you're here saying now that you're just showing up to play softball and softball only.
DeVier, I was actually told that this was hidden in your agreement when you signed. So you actually have to do this or you're fired.
Oh, my God.
I'm sorry to tell you.
This is my last Rothman and Ice. Man.
No, don't do that to me. No, don't do that to me. Don't do that to the show. We love having you on the show. But look, you got time to think about it, okay? You got time to think about it. You got a couple months to get ready for this thing. You're already in great shape. So I'm sure if you just dedicated a little bit more time to what you do already, you'll be ready to go.
No, it's like one of those things, man. Like when you're done with something, you're done with it.
Okay.
And I've moved on from football.
Okay, fair enough.
I'm not gonna let a guy like Tyvis get me back out there. I'm done.
Because I don't want either one of you guys to pop a hammy.
I wouldn't pop a hammy.
Pop an Achilles, anything.
No, I like him too much.
You don't want to embarrass him.
To do that to him in front of his family.
Okay. And
that's
fans.
it. That's it. Because I'm gonna be physical. Like I'm gonna I just don't play with football. Like I fed my family with that. You know what I mean?
I respect that.
You know, like I just.
Okay, I respect that. We'll wait and see if he has anything to say when it comes to that. But I just wanted to play that sound for you and allow you to respond to him because he was talking real spicy yesterday, as Tyvis usually does. Tonight we got Game 1, Depot, of the Eastern Conference Finals. It's been a crazy journey throughout the playoffs. Now here we are with a team that plays in the city not too far from us, right? Going into Boston, one of the toughest venues, the Pacers. They've been a fun story all season long with their high-flying offense. I know some people, Depot, are calling them out. just because you went through Milwaukee with no Giannis and you went through New York with no Julius Randle and some of their other heavy hitters being out. But you just got to play who's in front of you.
Yep.
And now the biggest challenge in the Eastern Conference is in front of the Indiana Pacers in Game 1 tonight. Tips at 8. What do you think about this series, man?
Yeah, man, I think for the same, I feel like Indiana has been more battle-tested than Boston this playoffs. You know, Boston had an unhealthy Miami team. Then they had a unhealthy Cleveland team. And I felt like Cleveland, still kind of gave them some run. But that New York team that Indiana had to go through and battle with, that's one of the hotter up-and-coming teams in the NBA with the healthy Julius Randle and Bogdanovich. That team is going to be tough to go through. Mm-hmm. That environment. I'm so happy New York is back when it comes to basketball. Like when it comes to stars on the side of the court, the guys that you got to see and the women you got to see in the New York Pacers series.
I don't know if it gets any bigger than that. You'll get some of it at a Lakers game. Yeah. At a Lakers game, you'll get some of it. But you're right. For whatever reason, the Garden, that basketball franchise, they bring out the stars with the best of them.
And I felt like Tyrese Halliburton and company rose to the occasion. Yeah. And they rose to the occasion. And they're one of the more intriguing teams that's left because you really see, hey, they're healthy. They're gelling. They're playing good. Boston really hasn't been battle-tested. I don't even feel like they were running offense in this last. They were running iso ball, just Jaylen Brown or Tatum coming down, beating their man one-on-one. Mm-hmm. But it's going to be a good series, man. I hope I can get out to Indy for a game.
I think Game 3's in Indy on Saturday.
Saturday and Monday, 3 and 4.
Okay, Indy basketball's on fire right now. I know Caitlin Clark, they were on TV again last night. The house was rocking. They lost, but, she's bringing the people out. The Pacers are bringing the city out. So that'll be a great atmosphere over in Indy here in a couple of days. But I can't wait to see how the Celtics handle this pressure because they've been knocking on this door for years and years
since Tatum got drafted.
These dudes now are, I think, in their, late 20s, 26, 27, Tatum and Brown. There's been a whole bunch of Eastern Conference Finals appearances. They've been to the finals and lost to Golden State. And now they've had this pressure on them all years because everybody thought we were headed for a collision course of Denver and Boston. Denver's now out of this thing. They've been the heavy favorite all year. But this Pacers team, they're going to push the pace. Mm-hmm. They're going to get up and down. And they're going to stretch your defense out, so we shall see how they respond. And that other series, I can't wait for Minnesota and Denver. Minnesota and Dallas.
Yeah. Yeah. So Dallas is 3 and 4 versus them this year. Yeah. But also I think Denver had won the season matchups too as well with Minnesota.
Right.
So don't really know if that's
there's some new faces for Dallas post-trade deadline. But Kyrie, it's been like one of those years, Kyrie, no BS. Just all hoop. All basketball from Kyrie. He's always been incredible, but now you take away the distractions and you see what he can be a part of. And he's knocking on the door again of another finals appearance. So, that starts tonight in Boston, 8 o'clock on ESPN. Coming up next, we got an update last night on the T. Higgins contract situation. We'll share with you all the latest nuggets next. It's Rothman and Ice right here on The Fan.
If the sound of another man slammed against plexiglass turns you on, you've come to the right place. Proud to be your home for Jackets hockey. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Another day is here, and you're ready for it. What to wear? Check. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner? Check. Planning for what's next and how to save for it? That's where Bank of America can help. For your financial to-dos, Bank of America has experts ready to help get you closer to your goals. Get started at one of our Central Ohio financial centers or 24/7 in our mobile banking app. Find a location near you at bankofamerica.com/talktous. What would you like the power to do? Mobile banking requires downloading the app and is only available for select devices. Message and data rates may apply. Bank of America N.A., member FDIC.
Your bathroom is boring and basic too. It seems like there's nothing you can do. A better bath awaits. You'll feel brand new, relaxing in a world of peace at the Bath Authority.
And right now, get $1,500 off a new shower or bath, plus 36 months of interest-free financing. It can all be installed in as little as 1 day.
You're our priority at the Bath Authority.
Ah, the sweet sounds of spring. The crack of a bat, chorus of birds, and the glorious hum of a freshly tuned AC system. Don't sweat it. Let the Waterworks Heating and Cooling team keep you in tune with a spring AC checkup.
We're all set.
Schedule a visit today and stay cool all summer long. Call the Waterworks Heating and Cooling team, 614-333-9720, or schedule service on our website. The Waterworks. Better care, better value, better AC.
There's a little slice of heaven in a mountain town escape. A pace of life that's less hurried, more authentic, where people greet you with a smile and experiences feel down to earth, yet elevated. From Appalachian art to wineries and craft breweries, live music to a lively spirit. This is West Virginia. We call it Almost Heaven. Plan your getaway now at wvtourism.com.
The Buckeye Show.
How does Aaron Kraft become Aaron Kraft until he does Aaron Kraft things?
Are you swooning right now?
Oh, because of AC? Yeah.
The Buckeye Show.
Sponsored by Schottenstein Roofing and Care Source.
Weeknights at 6 on The Fan.
Summer is almost here, and NBC4 Today is giving you a chance to swim in cash. Get ready for summer. Check out NBC4 Today every morning, and you could win $400. Watch to win all this week on NBC4 Today at 6 a.m.
Tuesday, someone's life will change forever.
A new winner will be crowned on the season finale of The Voice.
Which coach is going to get their crown as champion?
Reba McEntire, Chance the Rapper, Dan and Shay, or John Legend.
I'm going to let you in on a little secret.
What?
You will see special performances from Keith Urban, Kate Hudson, the Black Keys, and Thomas Rhett.
The season finale of The Voice.
Live Tuesday on NBC.
Tonight beginning at 8 on NBC4. Local for you. Summer is almost here, and NBC4 Today is giving you a chance to swim in cash. Get ready for summer. Check out NBC4 Today every morning, and you could win $400. Watch to win all this week on NBC4 Today at 6 a.m.
Two guys drove to work. Neither guy wore a seatbelt. One guy got a ticket. One guy didn't. The same two guys drove home. One guy wore a seatbelt. One guy didn't. One guy made it home. The guy not wearing his seatbelt didn't. Don't risk it. Click it or ticket. Paid for by NHTSA.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy real estate as is fast for cash. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. I buy vacant properties, inherited homes, divorce situations, death in the family. I even buy my tenants won't pay me the rent houses. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Look for a blend of sun and clouds with temperatures climbing to the upper end of the 80s. As we go towards the night, look for partly cloudy skies, low 65. And then on your Wednesday, we are tracking the risk of strong thunderstorms. Hail and damaging winds appear to be at the highest risk on Wednesday night. I'm Doppler 10 meteorologist Dylan Robichaud on 97.1 The Fan.
Bet365 is the exclusive online sportsbook of Rothman and Ice. Whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365.
You're listening to Rothman and Ice.
Sponsored by Pella Columbus. Windows and doors that go beyond.
Welcome back in. Matty Ice, DeVier Posey, the former Buckeye wide receiver, in the house today. Hope you guys are having a nice start to your Tuesday. Always appreciate your time. Bottom of the hour. Brenden Deeg from The Score will hop on to talk all things National Football League. Depot, I thought about you the other day because you and I were big fans of season 1 of the show called Shogun.
Absolutely.
And last time I talked to you, I was like, Depot, the way it ended, I feel like there was a lot of meat left on the bone. And they must have heard me crying because they said, you know what? We're coming back with season 2.
Absolutely.
We're coming back with season 2, so I'm excited about that. You were telling me about a show I need to tap into on Netflix called
The Gentleman.
The Gentleman. Okay.
Yeah, it's a guy from 50 Shades of Grey.
Okay.
That main character, he's the main character in this show about these families in England. And it's I don't want to ruin it for you.
Yeah.
But it's one of those ones where I didn't want to push play on the last 2 episodes. I was like, dang, it's over. It's over.
Because, man, when you get to binging something, like time is just gone.
Like,
time is gone. So, because I've been chipping away at, on Stars, part of the Power Universe, Ghost, Tariq Show. I wanted to fire up House of the Dragon Season 1. I don't know if you watched that on HBO because Season 2 is about to drop. I need to go back and watch Season 1 because I remember I felt like I wasn't that invested until about 4 or 5 episodes in. And then I felt like it got really good. But they brought it home at the end. And Season 2 does look good because I love everything Game of Thrones. So, they disappointed me with the end. They did. And the regular series. But anything to go back into that world, I'm here for. So, I'll tap back into House of the Dragon Season 2. That's coming up, I believe, at the early portion of June.
Man, yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I think that Shogun Season 2, because, the little nugget that kept me rolling was that it potentially could be a Season 2. Mm-hmm. It's for the engine. They showed, it was a clip of him in the last episode in the bed in England with his grandkids.
He was super old.
He was super
crusty
old. And he had
he looked crazy.
He had a lot of Japanese stuff in his house. He had a samurai. So I'm like, okay.
How do we get to that point?
How do we get to that point? I just want to know.
Aesthetically, it was beautifully shot.
Yeah.
It was gruesome.
The score was crazy.
It was incredible. Yeah. We need to see that battle. That was the thing. I was like, you're just going to leave us hanging without showing the big battle at the end, but I bet you they lead off the next series with that. So looking forward to that. Let's go down to Cincinnati because last night we got a little bit of new information from Shefty when it comes to T. Higgins. This tweet from Shefty last night. Bengals wide receiver T. Higgins still has not signed his franchise tender and is not expected to by next week per source. This would make him ineligible to report back to the Bengals in time for their organized team activities next week. Higgins cannot rejoin the team until he signs. You know all about the business of the NFL. You played this exact same position that he has played. When you hear that report that he hasn't signed this franchise tender and won't be around if he doesn't sign it for the OTAs that start popping off next week, where does your mind go with this scenario now?
He drew the line in the sand.
Mm-hmm.
He drew the line in the sand. He said, pay me, please, or trade me. Pay me or play me. Pay me or trade me. And the thing about T, I just think from his standpoint, you kind of have to play this game, Matt, because you don't know what can happen next year, right? Like, you don't know injury-wise, betting on yourself, gambling on yourself. There's a guy in the recent memory, he's from Columbus. He played running back in Pittsburgh. I don't think that the bet went too well on himself. And just by signing the tender, now they're two, separate positions. That's Le'Veon Bell. But you can play hardball, sit out a year. The trade doesn't happen. Or at least let's see if I can add this final amount of pressure.
Mm-hmm.
Get the trade through. If not, sign the tender. Take your $21 million guaranteed. Play through the season. Go through free agency. But what he's saying is I want to be here. I would like to be here. If not, get me somewhere. I want to be here and get paid, or I want to go get paid.
Yeah.
So
it's an interesting dynamic just because we haven't heard much of anything from anybody in the front office when it comes to this, right? It's been radio silent on that end. Before we talk a little bit more about it, his wide receiver coach, Troy Walters, joined the Believe in Bengals podcast with Solomon Wilcots, and here he is on some of the conversations he's had with T recently.
He's always been a class first-rate pro. Given the situation, what are some of the coaching points? What's the conversation like with him as you guys as a team? You have your goals. He has individual goals, that's for sure. But what's the conversation like with making sure that everything just it's not a distraction, that you guys continue to press forward as you enter the 2024 season?
Yeah, well, my number one job as a coach is to get the players to play to the best of their ability. And so that's my message to him. Like, a lot of this is out of your control. You can't do anything. All you can do is get your body right, get your mind right to have the best season that you can have. And if you do that, everything else is going to take care of itself. And,
that's right.
T's a worker. We really came in together in 2020. He's worked his tail off. Has gotten better each year. Definitely he understands he's got to stay healthy and play an entire 17-plus game season. And if he does, then he's gonna have his everything that he wants is going to come to him. And so he understands that, and he's working hard this offseason. And, he loves Cincinnati. He loves being here. He loves the team, the offense. And, so I think the best is ahead for him.
So you know what they say, Depot, timing is everything. Timing is everything in life. And unfortunately for T, what's down the road and not too far down the road for this front office is his running mate at wide receiver in Jamar Chase. And the contract he deserves as well, that's going to be absolutely through the roof. I mean, the wide receiver market is already crazy. Look at like a deal Amon-Ra St. Brown just got this offseason. CeeDee Lamb, Justin Jefferson, all these guys are on deck right now for massive contracts that are probably going to be in that $30 million club right around there. So because of that within his same locker room, that's why we have this issue amongst some other things with obviously Joey B's tag being high and some other guys on this roster that are some pretty good players and making some good money. You just obviously hope as a Bengals fan that all this is figured out by week 1. And that number 5 and number 1 are out there, because I do think there's a world now to where, especially when you got a guy like Jermaine Burton in the mix, a rookie who they drafted at that wide receiver position, in the juice that he could potentially provide as your number 3 receiver. Tyler Boyd was solid, right? He was a solid number 3 receiver, but I think the pop that Jermaine Burton can give him, especially a guy that last 2 years, in college was averaging between 17 to 20 yards a catch. Not to say that that's exactly what's going to translate into the NFL, but I think the juice that he has there could really make this wide receiver group even better with some fresh young legs there. So they didn't budge last year with the Jonah Williams situation. It sounds like they're not budging at all with Trey Hendrickson and with T. Higgins. We'll see, because if this gets into the training camp and preseason portion and he's not around, that lets us know how serious he is about holding out or maybe wanting to go elsewhere.
Yeah, man, this is always one of those tough situations, but that franchise tag is, a positive thing in terms of the organization values you. They want to, they feel that they need to build around you, and it's one of those things to where we want you here, it's just we're trying to balance these books. And I kind of see both sides, man. Like, you don't want to get too far in where you're paying one guy 25, 27, and you got to pay another guy 31, 32 a year. Like, that's just kind of crazy. I just think the thing with T, when Jamar Chase was hurt, I don't know if he necessarily helped himself or hurt himself. He was just kind of there.
Yeah.
And I think that's really the Bengals' hesitancy. Like, are we going to put this in there, or can we let somebody else trade for you and get? And I think that's just what they're trying to battle through. Like, do we keep this chemistry and this nucleus together, or do we let somebody else get left holding the bag?
It's a tough call, right? It's a tough call, because once you get beyond, especially at the quarterback position, that rookie contract for that guy, this is when some of those tough decisions have to come in to play. And one of these, that's why I think the trade thing, I would love to hear, in the front office walls, like, how strongly they feel about keeping him versus trading him right now, because the assets that you could get when you have a quarterback that's making $50, $55 million, maybe that's a second-round pick, first-round pick, whatever it may be, that's super valuable to have in that window of time. But they're also looking back and saying, man, just a couple years ago, we were right there knocking on the door to win a ring with these same cast of characters. So,
but, you want to always get rid of a guy before the year before it's too late.
Yeah.
As GM.
Yep. Tough one. Tough one. Wouldn't want to be in their shoes down there in the front office right now. When we come back, big fan of the program, or big guest that we are a fan of, Brenden Deeg from The Score. We'll hop on to talk all things NFL. It's Rothman and Ice right here on The Fan.
This promo is brought to you by Common Man and Timmy Hall's Ping Pong Game. The Fan.
Great coaching can make all the difference, especially when it comes to your money. At Right Pac Credit Union, our financial coaches are on your team. We'll help you create a winning game plan that's customized for your unique needs, so you can make the most of your hard-earned money and live the life you want to live. Best of all, Right Pac Credit Union serves all of Central Ohio, so getting in the game is easy. Let's win together. Stop by one of our Central Ohio member centers to get started today. Equal housing opportunity, insured by NCUA.
Spring is a season full of new life and new opportunities to celebrate. Hi, it's Alex Johnson from the Diamond Cellar. Anniversaries, new babies, graduations, plus everything in between, discover the perfect gift for every occasion. Visit us at the Diamond Cellar on Sawmill Road or Easton Town Center.
Ohio Mulch, Landscape Supply.
Hi, this is Ron Frost with Ohio Mulch, and here's to Ohio Mulch celebrating 40 years of making the community a greener and more beautiful place, one garden at a time. Don't miss out on the opportunities to elevate your outdoor space and to be part of a journey towards the next 40 successful years. Check out our promotions online at ohiomulch.com.
Ohio Mulch, Landscape Supply. Greener, greener, better.
Listen up, gamers. Mountain Dew has always been your go-to for a refreshing citrus kick. Now it's also your go-to for gaming rewards. With Mountain Dew Gaming Rewards, you just look for codes under the caps of specially marked 20-ounce bottles of Mountain Dew. Enter those codes online to bank points, and then redeem them for awesome gaming gear. Everything from gift cards, game copies, controllers, consoles, custom Mountain Dew gaming gear, and more. Join Mountain Dew Gaming Rewards now.
Open to legal U.S. residents 18+. Subject to program terms at mountaindewgaming.com and 2525. Voter prohibited.
Hey, it's Bobby. When you have a large investment like a new roof, you want to work with a company you can trust. One with 30 years of experience and hundreds of 5-star Google reviews, 0 complaints with the BBB. That's Newman Roofing. So go check them out at newmanroofing.com or give them a call at 614-NEW-ROOF.
Attention weekend warriors. Fan Sports Saturday has moved to 10 a.m. Join Eric Reeser and Tyvis Powell as they dive into popular topics like the Buckeyes and Tyvis's liquid diet.
Saturdays from 10 to 1.
The Fan.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential. But finding those people can be a major hassle. Unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. And right now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. With ZipRecruiter, one click sends your job to hundreds of top job sites. But more than that, ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies the candidates with the skills you need, sends you a list of great matches to review, then actively invites them to apply for your job. And the results speak for themselves. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's right, the first day. Now you can focus on your business and let ZipRecruiter do the work finding the best people for you. See for yourself. Experience the ease, efficiency, and power of ZipRecruiter for free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
2 guys drove to work. Neither guy wore a seatbelt. One guy got a ticket. One guy didn't. The same 2 guys drove home. One guy wore his seatbelt. One guy didn't. One guy made it home. The guy not wearing his seatbelt didn't. Don't risk it. Click it or ticket. Paid for by NHTSA.
Hey, are you having a hard time dealing with high-interest credit card debt? It's normal, and a SoFi personal loan could help you save thousands by consolidating your DEBT to one low fixed monthly payment. You could get $5,000 to $100,000 as soon as the same day you sign, with no fees required. It only takes 60 seconds to view your rate, and it won't affect your credit score. View your rate at SoFi.com/paid-off. Loans originated by SoFi Bank N.A. Member FDIC. Terms and conditions at SoFi.com/paid-off. NMLS 696891.
Rothman and Ice is sponsored by your local Pella Window and Door showroom on Gemini Parkway. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Finding the sweet spot between the over and the under. You're listening to Rothman and Ice.
That you are. Welcome back in. Going to use the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline right now and bring on one of our favorites, Brenden Deeg, covers the NFL very well for The Score. Brenden, you got me, Matty Ice, and the former Buckeye DeVier Posey in the house today. How you feeling, man?
I'm doing well, guys. How you guys doing?
Doing well. Well, we just got done reacting to kind of the latest news coming out of Cincinnati that involved T. Higgins and that he hasn't signed that franchise tender just yet. I want to spin it kind of a different way, Brenden. Let's go down the road of a hypothetical, and let's say the Bengals front office, they all get on board, and they do want to trade T. Higgins. Where would a fun landing spot be in your mind for another team to acquire his services?
Well, I think if the Bengals were going to trade T. Higgins, it would have been at the draft. In my personal opinion, if a first-round pick did come available, so let's say a team in the bottom 12 or bottom 10 of the draft in this year offered a first-round pick, or a contending team, or it doesn't matter what team offered a pick in the 2025 draft, I probably would have jumped on that trade opportunity. It is kind of weird that the Cincinnati Bengals are kind of just okay with letting T. Higgins play out potentially on the franchise tag, which he has not signed. That was the news yesterday, and that they're not close on a negotiation. And then basically you'll be expecting him to walk at the end of next year, and the only thing that you'll get is a third-round pick, I believe, right? If it's a comp pick, a third, fourth round, depending on which how long or how many games he plays, what his stats are in 2025 with that new team. For a team potentially that needs a wide receiver, there's another team in the AFC that's the kind of catch my eye. Well, one in the AFC, one in the NFC. The one in the AFC is the Jacksonville Jaguars. I think they're desperately looking for a wide receiver. They wanted Calvin Ridley to come back. That didn't happen. He ends up going to the division round with Tennessee Titans. And then the NFC, I don't know if they can afford him, but I do think the Detroit Lions are a team to watch for a wide receiver potentially at the deadline or in some sort of trade leading up to the season. They only have Amon-Ra St. Brown. He's kind of their only wide receiver weapon. Of course, they have Sam Laporta as well. But I think that Josh Reynolds leaving the Detroit Lions is kind of an underrated exit for a team. He was really key for that offense last year, and they haven't really replaced him. So the Jaguars and Lions would be the two teams that I would keep an eye on for that need a wide receiver heading into this year. But it all signs point to T. Higgins eventually signing the franchise tag and playing the season on it, and then leaving at the end of the 2020 season, which is great if they win and they go to the Super Bowl or they make the AFC title game, right? It's worth it there. Like, it is worth to have T. Higgins on your team in 2024 if you succeed. If not, it's the best long-term team. The best general managers in the league think 3 years ahead, not 1 year. And it seems like the Bengals this year kind of just playing it out for the 2024 season and seeing what happens.
Man, Brenden Deeg, man, it's DeVier Posey. Hey, I wanted to ask you, man, so growing up the AFC North, you're talking Chad Johnson, Hines Ward, Ben Roethlisberger, the bus. Cleveland was Cleveland. And then you had, the Baltimore teams of the early 2000s, the Ray Lewis and the Ed Reeds, man. I feel like even now, the AFC North is more powerful than those times. With Deshaun Watson, healthy Joey B. Deshaun's really getting into, being in Cleveland, kind of shaking off his past. Pittsburgh, they have the intriguing story with Justin Fields and Russell Wilson. And then, the Ravens coming off an AFC championship loss. What are you expecting from this AFC North? Any surprises? Is this the best league in football?
Yeah, it's what you mentioned, the AFC North. Like last year, they had the Bengals finished 9-8 and dead last in the division. And it's funny because this year's schedule, like if you finish last place, you get a last place schedule. So you play many other divisions. And the Bengals finishing last place kind of screwed over the other teams playing the Bengals who had a last place schedule. Like here, the Carolina Panthers, for instance, we finished dead last. We should have an easy schedule. And then you get the Cincinnati Bengals as your AFC opponent, right? Like they kind of screwed over other teams that had last place schedules. But I think the AFC North, again, is probably the best division in football heading into this year. I expect the Ravens to be just as good as last year. Now, the loss of Mike McDonald is key. Jadeveon Clowney, can they replace his production? So they have a couple question marks, but as long as Lamar Jackson's running the show there, I expect them to be good. I think the Browns are going to be – I don't know if the defense is going to be as good as it was last year, but Deshaun Watson healthy, can he take kind of go back to 2020 form, the Deshaun Watson that the Browns thought they were acquiring when they made that big trade? I think the Steelers are going to be competitive again. Like they always are. Somewhere finished 10-7 last year, made the playoffs. I think they'll have better quarterback play this year, depending on who it is, Russell Wilson or Justin Fields. And then watch out for the Bengals again this year. Like I just brought up the fact that they're not kind of thinking long term, but they're set to win in 2024. Joe Burrow's healthy. I think they made improvements to the offensive line. I think Amarius Mims is one of my favorite topics of the first round. I really like him. I think he's a future star in the making. Can he play year one? Is kind of the question. So yeah, you're right. North is kind of.
I think we may have lost Brenden right there, CB. We were it was getting dicey there. Let me know when you got him back. But no, to your point, this division, I mean, last year, the fact that the Steelers got into the postseason with that type of quarterback play speaks to how good their defense can be, how great of a head coach I still believe Mike Tomlin is. And when you look at it, that Steelers, the last couple off seasons, like they've really gone about identifying that offensive line in the draft last year and the offseason last year. Same thing again. Like the pieces are in place. I think they're a little light at wide receiver. Like I don't love going into the season, I believe, with Roman Wilson as your number 2 behind George Pickens, but you do have Pat Freiermuth that can help you out with the tight end spot, and they're going to get better quarterback play either way. I think we have Brenden Deeg back. Brenden Deeg from The Score talking all things NFL with us. Brenden, I want to go down to Miami because the last couple of days there's been a lot of conversation out there about Tua Tagovailoa and a possible contract extension for him. Would you feel comfortable giving Tua a similar deal or the exact deal that the Detroit Lions gave Jared Goff?
I would not. I think the Dolphins are playing this right. If I'm Miami's management, I'm kind of letting the season play out this year. I know, like if you're Tua Tagovailoa's agent and you're himself, you're looking around going, everyone from my draft class has got paid. Jordan Love even got some sort of extension. Jalen Hurts got paid. Like everyone, Justin Herbert got paid. So I understand the frustration on his part, but he has just not been able to kind of keep his play up throughout the season. Like if you just take a look at the last 2 years, his play has drastically fell off. Of course, 2 years ago, he had concussion injuries in 2022, which hampered his stats. And then last year, like the play really fell off. He didn't have a 300-yard passing game after week 11. He did not play well in the Kansas City Chiefs game in the playoffs. So I do think there's something to like Tua Tagovailoa. Just as the season progresses, the play isn't there compared to when at the beginning. Like at the beginning of the year, he was an MVP conversation. He was one of the most efficient quarterbacks in the league, and then they did kind of tail off. So I have personally just never been the biggest Tua Tagovailoa guy, so maybe just my personal opinion. But if I'm the Miami Dolphins, I'm not rushing to get a contract extension done.
All right, it's good stuff, Brenden. We always appreciate your time, man. Enjoy the rest of the all season, and we'll be checking in with you soon. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Have a good one.
Yeah, you too. Brenden Deeg from The Score via the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. Real quick before we go to break, would you give Tua the deal that Jared Goff got, right around $53 million, 170 guaranteed? No, you make him play out the 5th-year option for right around a little north of $20 million, and it's just the health stuff or the play.
I think it's both.
Okay.
I think just the performance obviously is tough in Kansas City in that type of weather conditions. Yeah. But I just don't think, when it's time to play, like the numbers aren't astronomical like Justin Herbert, right? But you're not giving me the wins like Jared Goff. So it's like he's somewhere in between there. So it's just
for that franchise, he's the best quarterback they've had probably since Marino. But I think there's also a lot of.
You gonna give him Tannehill no love?
He was solid, but I like Tannehill more in Tennessee than I did in Miami.
Yeah, the Tannehill
at quarterback. So he's Tua's in a tough spot. That franchise is in a tough spot because he's good, but is he the guy that can go into Arrowhead, go into Buffalo, Baltimore, maybe go toe to toe with some of those guys? It's a big time question mark. Coming up, a player in the NFL says his head coach reminds him of Will Ferrell. I'm Ron Burgundy. That's coming up next. Rothman and Ice right here on The Fan.
Common Man has spent the past 18 years telling you how much he hates people. And yes, that probably means you, too. Common Man and T-Bone.
Weekdays at 3.
The Fan.
At Bet365, we don't do ordinary. We believe that every sport should be epic. Every basket, every game, every point, every play, from the moments that are legendary to the ones that fly under the radar, whether it's a three-pointer at the buzzer to tie the game or a player goes 2 for 2 at the foul line.
Whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. 21 plus only, must be present in Ohio. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply.
I need a small order of sheet metal to repair something in the shop. It's not much, but can you help me out?
At Metal Supermarkets, no order is too small.
Wait, really?
Yep.
What about small home projects?
Yep.
For a car I'm working on?
Yep.
Any kind of metal?
Yep.
Cut to size?
Yep.
With no minimum order?
Yep.
How about 1,000 cut pieces of aluminum flat bar?
Yep. Choose from over 8,000 types, shapes, and grades of metal in any quantity you need. And yes, we're serious. Any metal, any size, ready fast. Locally owned on Wilson Road.
Spring. It's a season full of new life and new opportunities to celebrate. Hi, it's Alex Johnson from the Diamond Cellar. From weddings and anniversaries to new babies and graduations, plus everything in between, there's no better place to discover the perfect gift for every occasion than the Diamond Cellar. As a true jeweler, we not only curate the finest selection of luxury jewelry from world-class designers, but we can also create something truly one-of-a-kind just for you. Visit the Diamond Cellar on Sawmill Road or Easton Town Center.
Grab life by the chicken fingers and savor the day with hand-battered, cooked-to-order chicken fingers, crispy crinkle-cut fries, buttery Texas toast, and that secret cane sauce that makes everything that much better.
Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers. One love.
Now at UDF, buy 3 everyday favorites with UDrive Plus to quickly stack an extra 20 cents in gas savings. That includes Monster Energy and Red Bull and Gatorade and Body Armor. And that adds up. UDF, made for you. Specially marked products with an opted-in UDrive account.
Bobby Carpenter once sold workout equipment on QVC Canada. There's no joke here. That actually happened. Morning Juice with Bobby and Beamer.
Weekdays starting at 6.
The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Summer is almost here, and NBC4 Today is giving you a chance to swim in cash. Get ready for summer. Check out NBC4 Today every morning, and you could win $400. Watch to win all this week on NBC4 Today at 6 a.m.
Tuesday, someone's life will change forever.
A new winner will be crowned on the season finale of The Voice.
Which coach is going to get their crown as champion?
Reba McEntire, Chance the Rapper, Dan and Shay, or John Legend.
I'm going to let you in on a little secret.
What?
You will see special performances from Keith Urban, Kate Hudson, the Black Keys, and Thomas Rhett.
The season finale of The Voice.
Live Tuesday on NBC.
Tonight beginning at 8 on NBC4. Local for you. Summer is almost here, and NBC4 Today is giving you a chance to swim in cash. Get ready for summer. Check out NBC4 Today every morning, and you could win $400. Watch to win all this week on NBC4 Today at 6 a.m.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online at hims.com/joy. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation to determine the ED medication that's best for you. Discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and a range of treatment options, including trusted generic alternatives to the name brands, at up to 95% off. ED is personal, and at Hims, so is treating it. Just go to hims.com/joy and get connected to a licensed medical provider online for free, with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. HIMS.com/JOY.
Want to know anything about the Fans contest, how to win, or what's up for grabs? Check out 971thefan.com. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
There's nothing like ripping off your pants and enjoying some lobster bisque. This is Rothman and Ice.
Might be a little too hot today, Depot, for some lobster bisque, but if you put a cup in front of me right now, I'm killing it.
That's what you craving right now?
No, I just, that was a little bump back that we had right there because I'm a huge fan of lobster bisque. Like, I love it, especially when you get like some nice warm bread with it too.
So let me
dip that in there.
So you got Baltimore roots.
Yes, sir.
Baltimore without a T.
It's in the bloodline.
Without a T.
That's right.
So you mean to tell me your lobster bisque over some Maryland crab-filled clam chowder?
Never the biggest clam chowder guy, man.
What?
Not really.
With the corn in it?
Yeah, it's
Old Bay on the top.
Yeah, because you gotta listen. Old Bay, like Old Bay in Baltimore, like you have your own section of the kitchen that just is full of Old Bay.
Listen,
like when you grow up in Baltimore.
I didn't even before I played in Baltimore. Like I liked Old Bay, but like it just went to another level when I started seeing. I would be out for brunch. And Old Bay is next to salt and pepper.
Yeah, just as popular. And so they put on every French fries, your burger, like anything and everything.
Well, even at like Wendy's, they got like little Old Bay packages.
It's crazy. Look, the seafood is off the chain. You go down to the harbor, like it's it's so fresh, man.
Man, I would drive on that turnpike for some.
Oh my goodness,
it's blue crab season.
Yes,
isn't it?
sir. Yes, sir. I just miss it. Like, whole family gets together.
Yeah.
Just nothing but newspapers covering the entire table.
Yeah.
And you just have your Old Bay, your bowl of butter, and you just you dig it in. Get the gloves, and it's a great time, man. Nothing like it. But yeah, some lobster bisque.
You breaking that back out? You eating at the top of the bag?
No.
No.
Okay, all right. That wasn't really for me. How about you?
No, but I learned how to like take the plastic knife.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah,
that's the trick.
See, look.
That's the trick. I know. Listen, I know.
You take the plastic knife and you got to break the bone walls, and then you can get most of the meat when you pull it up. Yeah, I know.
Meat in there is moist.
Yeah, absolutely.
Chef's kiss. So we had a player in the NFL. You know, we all know Will Ferrell.
Yeah.
You got a favorite Will Ferrell film?
Oh man, my favorite
Elf.
Will Ferrell film is I see a lot of Elf, but I gotta go with Ricky Bobby.
Yeah, that's a good one. Step Brothers for me is probably.
Step Brothers is good.
Step Brothers is probably the one for me. But Denzel Perryman, NFL linebacker, had this to say about his head coach.
My first impression of Harbaugh, like I hope I don't get in trouble for this, but like he reminds me of Will Ferrell. Like I don't know if it's the way that he talks. Like, you know, his analogies and everything, but, like, they really remind me of Will Ferrell. And, I don't know, it's just funny to me. Like, it's funny, but I know, like, he means well, like, everything's come, you know, from the heart. But I feel like you got to have a sense of humor to understand, you know, like, some of his lines and gimmicks. But I love him. I love him as a coach. Like I said, I love the direction that he got us going in. He played the game, he played here, and he understands.
Have you shared with him that he reminds you of?
Not yet. I'm pretty sure he'll hit us and talk to me about it tomorrow. But, yeah.
Are you thinking of a specific, like, Will Ferrell character, like, from one of the movies?
Nah, just Will Ferrell, like, in general.
I see what he sees. Because he is like a character. Like, of all the NFL coaches, or heck, even just coaches in college football and the NFL, he does seem like a movie character. With the way that he approaches his press conferences, the way that he handled all that scandal last year with just ducking and dodging all the questions and making all these jokes. He has an amazing way of going about it that way, but also at the same time, you got to give it to the man. Good football has followed him everywhere he's went.
Are we allowed to like him now? Or we got to wait?
That's a great question. That's a great question.
Because one thing I did like about Harbaugh last year is that he fought for NCAA player rights. You know what I mean? Don't like that he beat Ohio State.
Or the way that they potentially were beating not only Ohio State, but everyone else too.
I mean, I kind of like the guy when he was in San Francisco. Like, in San Francisco.
Mm-hmm.
I just let me know when I'm okay, when it's okay.
Listen,
like,
you're the former Buckeye, so like you can do what you want. He is no longer the head coach of Michigan. You can do what you want. Yeah. So all I'm saying is Stanford to San Francisco to Michigan. Good football follows this man. There's a lot of pressure on him now, though, because are you a big Justin Herbert believer? Do you think that? No, you're not. Do you think we've seen the best of Justin Herbert?
Yeah, I'm just not a Justin Herbert believer.
Okay, so
he's Phillip Rivers too.
Ooh, for the same franchise.
They did it over again.
Got the guy that'll get you some really good numbers, but won't bring home the goods.
He probably, he's Phillip Rivers too.
Would you want to play in a Harbaugh offense as a wide receiver?
I don't know, man. I feel like no. I want to play an Andy Reid offense.
Yeah, just spread that thing out and let us do our thing.
I want to play a Scott McVay offense.
I couldn't wait to ask you that because it's usually kind of like, bringing up Tress 3 yards in a cloud of dust, north and south. We're coming to beat you up with physicality. Mm-hmm. You look at their first pick in this year's draft, and it was Joe Alt, and they brought in former Ravens offensive coordinator Greg Roman, who is known for running the ball. They did take some receivers in the draft. They went and got Ladd McConkey out of Georgia, who I believe you like, right?
Love Ladd.
Yeah. So we'll see what he can do. But his offenses always seem like the wide receivers are more complements to our appetizers more so than the main dishes being in the trenches. I mean, Harbaugh was calling, left tackle specialists, like offensive weapons in the league. That's what he thinks about line play.
Yeah, and I think, Harbaugh plays a different game. Like, he plays, like, at some point in the NFL, like, your offense, and the specialists have to be okay with, like, complementary football. But what is really complementary football? That's, okay, like, we're backed up. In my mind, man, let's throw this go ball.
Right.
And let's get out of here. Let me score 60, have 100 on the day.
Yep.
Obviously, that's what my mind is thinking. But he's like, nah, we're going to throw this hitch, double slant. We're going to get this sweep. We're going to go downhill. We're going to punt it. We're going to, put our defense in a decent position. We're going to flip the field here. And sometimes, like, when you have successful football over multiple years, like it follows you, you understand that playing that way, the offense won't have as many stats, but winning follows. You won't put your defense in a bad position. And I think when you start to look at football like that, not just, one side of the ball production versus another side of the ball production, I think that's what is key for him.
Yeah.
Because they kind of played that way a little bit this year with Michigan, man.
Well, for sure. And that's why I can't wait to see J.J. McCarthy, what he can do now in the NFL. If they ask him to do more with his arm, with the weapons that they have in Minnesota. First game on the schedule for the Chargers is home against the Raiders. Then they go out to Carolina. Then they do come to Pittsburgh. And then they have the Kansas City Chiefs at home. They got an early bye week 5. So I know Harbaugh can't be loving that. Rushing attack, Depot, real quick, ranked 25th in the league last year. I'm willing to bet he'll get them in the top 10 this year.
Yeah, no Eckler, huh?
But they got Gus Edwards and J.K. Dobbins.
Yes.
So we shall see what they do out in L.A. Coming up next, one of the top college football writers has released his post-spring 2024 top 25 rankings. We'll share with you where he has the Buckeyes and some of the other top programs around the sport. Next is Rothman and Ice right here on The Fan.
Whatever you're doing right now, just know that Bo Bishop is enjoying a sip of bourbon. Even if this promo is playing in the morning, no judgment.
Sweet morning drinking.
The Fan.
You walk into your bathroom every morning and every night, so why not have it be something great? Hey, it's Anthony Rothman. You've been thinking about it, so do it. Let my friends at the Bath Authority transform yours into whatever you envision. With the Bath Authority, every unit can be custom built by you with the premium accents and accessories that you want. And it can all be installed in as little as 1 day by certified factory technicians. And right now, the Bath Authority is giving you $1,500 off a new shower or bath, plus 36 months of interest-free financing. TheBathAuthority.com. A better bath awaits.
Common Man here for Care Heating and Cooling. Weather is unpredictable, but the inside of your home should be comfortable just the way you like it. And the best way to avoid those unnecessary surprises is with a care plan. See, with a care plan, you get priority service, system maintenance in case of an emergency, just another way to give your family peace of mind. And maintaining your systems properly can help you save money. A properly maintained furnace and air conditioner run more efficiently, reducing your utility usage. Regular maintenance also prevents breakdowns and extends the life of your equipment. I'm on the care plan, and I'm quite the expert, and I'll stop by and give your system a once-over. I will. Don't tempt me. I end every commercial the same way, telling you to hire Care when you need a company you can trust. But that's not just a slogan. It's the Care creed, not Creed the band. Yeah! It's the way they live their life and the way they strive to be remembered by you, the customer, at the end of every interaction with Care. Care Heating and Cooling. Call 1-800-COOLING or book an appointment online at careheatingandcooling.com when you need a company you can trust.
Need assistance with door and window projects? The Home Depot can help. From inspiration and materials to ordering and installation, our free Millwork virtual apron service can get you moving and doing. Plus, we speak Spanish too. Our associates can help you tackle complex jobs without you leaving the job site, saving you time and money. Call us at 1-833-HD-APRON or visit homedepot.com/MVA. The Home Depot, how doers get more done.
Reggie was a nurse for 16 years.
I had become very burnt out. I wasn't making good money.
Then it happened.
There was an ad for My Computer Career, and it just spoke to me.
My Computer Career was the best decision he ever made.
I could study anywhere from my laptop, and I was working in the first couple of weeks of me being in class.
Reggie hit a home run.
The field is teeming with jobs.
Become an IT pro in just months with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu.
The school is amazing.
It's not rocket science. It's mycomputercareer.edu. This is one student's experience. Individual results vary.
Hey, it's Bobby. When you have a large investment like a new roof, you want to work with a company you can trust. One with 30 years of experience and hundreds of 5-star Google reviews, zero complaints with the BBB. That's Newman Roofing. So go check them out at newmanroofing.com or give them a call at 614-NEW-ROOF.
Open your door to a gorgeous Nature Stone garage floor. This is Paul Keels for Nature Stone. This month only, save up to 50% during their May is for Moms sales event. Schedule your free cost estimate today at naturestone.com. It's not just a floor. Wow, it's Nature Stone.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. Sports Center.
And I'm Timmy Hall. We are back to basketball tonight. The Celtics in the Eastern Conference Finals. Game 1 in Boston. They take on the Pacers at 8. Coverage will be right here on The Fan after the Buckeyes show. It'll be me and Tyvis Powell. Ohio State baseball, they're still trying to get in the opening game at the Big Ten tournament in Nebraska. They're playing Nebraska in Game 1. It's already been delayed at least 6 hours. They're aiming for a 9 p.m. start on ESPN Columbus and the Fans HD2. Maybe that thing doesn't get in today. Same with Ohio State women's hockey coach Nadine Muzzerall receives a 5-year contract extension through 28-29. That's what happens when you're the reigning national champ and you've won 2 natties in 3 years. Good job out of her. This one is sponsored by Nature Stone. Schedule your free cost estimate today at naturestone.com. It's not just a floor. Wow, it's Nature Stone. Breaking sports news on The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Fascinating, informative, covered in dog slobber. You're listening to Rothman and Ice.
That you are. Welcome back in, Matty Ice. Got our guy DeVier Posey, the former Buckeye wide receiver, in the house. Bottom of the hour. We'll talk to Bill Bender from the Sporting News about all things college football. Depot, how's the golf swing coming along, my guy?
It's actually, I think this year I'm trending in the right direction. Okay. I got in 4 rounds last week.
Oh, wow. Yeah, you were getting it in.
Getting it in.
18 all the way around?
This is how I know. I normally have a no rain rule, but I got out there. It was like last Wednesday, and I had like a peak little time, like 2 hours, no rain, and I got out there, and I was like, dang. I'm getting it in the rain this year.
It's addictive,
I'm trying to get better.
Yeah, it's addictive, man.
Yeah.
You watch any of the PGA Championship?
Absolutely, I did. Great shots.
X-Man got it done.
It was some great shots.
Start to finish.
Yes.
Now he has that monkey off his back. You know, like
yes,
that first man. You could see when that last birdie putt went in, just
and it rimmed in too. So.
Yeah.
He was like, whew.
Because DeChambeau was on his heels.
Yes, he was.
On his heels.
Yes,
Bryson really put that together. So, yeah, that was a fun one in a couple weeks up at Jack's place, the Memorial. Gonna be fun, man.
Oh, man, I'm excited for this.
It's always a good time. Hopefully we get some good weather. Hopefully the rain will stay away. That way we can go out there, have a good time and, you know, watch some golf, have a couple, maybe transfusions, whatever you like to sip on out there. You got a drink of choice in the summer?
So like daytime morning drink?
Or just, just out walking around.
Yeah, it has to be the Moscow Mule, margarita, either some type of vodka or some type of tequila.
Moscow Mule is number 1 for me on the leaderboard.
For day drinking?
Just easy, it's smooth. You get the ginger beer, the lime juice, a little splash. It's nice.
Yeah,
it's a good
mint action.
Yeah. You can get double mint in mine. Double mint in mine. Let's talk some college football because Mark Schlabach, one of the big ESPN college football writers for ESPN, he dropped his post-spring 2024 top 25 rankings. And for the majority of the offseason, a lot of the big writers and college football evaluators that I've seen have had the split between Georgia and Ohio State at 1 and 2. And there's no difference here. Some people have had Ohio State 1. Some people obviously have had Georgia 2 and vice versa. Mark is one of those guys that coming out of spring ball still has the Dogs at number 1. And they have a seasoned quarterback in Carson Beck, some great weapons. Kirby Smart has turned this thing into the Death Star. Like, what he's been able to do was under Coach Saban's wing for a while at Bama. Now he's turned this thing into an absolute machine. And so I can't wait to see what leap Carson Beck does make this year.
Yeah.
Because I looked at him, he was good last year, but I'm wondering, do we get that superstar leap from him? Because he's been around for a while.
Yeah.
Like, he's been around.
Like Heisman leap you talking about, man?
I wonder if he has that in him this year.
Yeah.
You believe so?
I think so, man.
Okay.
And I think a lot of, my opinion of him last year just grew on the positive side as I thought that they would be tested many games. I thought, Missouri be tested, go against all these teams late in the season. And it just took him all the way up to a SEC championship where he took his first L. But I thought they would lose a lot of games with the freshman quarterback. So for me, I think that he built a lot of confidence from last year.
No doubt.
And I think he is, by all means, a true pro prospect, probably the best one they've had since Matthew Stafford.
Ooh.
Since Matthew Stafford. And I think this is a year that he takes that leap. And it's okay for them to be number 1. I don't think Mark is wrong by that.
So he's got the Buckeyes at 2. And CB, I know you got some Greg McElroy sound. When Greg McElroy, another ESPN college football analyst, he gave his take on the potential of Ohio State and what they could be this year.
We will start in the Big Ten, a team that I think might be number 1 in college football heading into this upcoming season. It's the Ohio State Buckeyes. Last offseason, there was so much progress made 2 years ago with Jim Knowles. But that was before the last 2 games of the year. The last 2 games of the year against Michigan and then against Georgia in the semifinal, that defense that improved so greatly throughout 2022 came back down to earth. So I guess you could say it was a somewhat disappointing year for Jim Knowles, the defensive coordinator, even though I kind of looked at the fact that they grew tremendously from the year before as a real positive. Some would say because of the way they finished, there wasn't a lot of progress made. So last year we go into the season saying, well, Jim Knowles, he's got to figure this thing out. You just can't give up 40 plus in the semifinal game. Just can't give up 40 plus to your arch rival. Well, the Buckeyes did just that. They held 7 of 12 FBS opponents, their fewest yards per play, and allowed more than 17 points just once all year. They were very, very efficient on the defensive side. And while their offense wasn't quite as good as they've been in years past, they still finished 11-2 and had a real chance, if not for a turnover and a play here or there, to knock off the eventual national champion Michigan Wolverines. Now, they've adjusted what they're doing on offense, and we'll talk about that on a later date, and we feel great about what they have on that side of the ball and the progress that will likely be made on that side of the ball. But when you look at their defense, this might actually be the strength of their team.
Silver bullets are back, Depot? Do you agree with Greg?
What is Greg talking about? Like, Greg, you're just be quiet. What do you say?
What do you disagree with him on?
The thing I disagree with is that his tone sounds as if he's agreeing with this defense being like falling short. Like, we lost to the national champ. Like, what are you talking about? And then we had guys go to the NFL. Yes, the Missouri game. I get it. Whatever. But we've just talked about complimentary football in the last segment. Mm-hmm. When this defense is being asked to do things, their time of possession, like when you look at the opposite team's time of possession, that's how much time your team is on the field. And I just feel like this defense had a successful year last year. Like, it's the standards for this team after the year before was a successful year defensive-wise. Mm-hmm. And I also believe this year that they're going to take it to another level of successful. And what they want to do is win a Big Ten championship, win a spot in the playoffs, get a first-round bye, and go win a national championship. Yeah. And I think that's what they'll be judged on. But for Greg to say that this was somewhat of an unsuccessful year under Knowles' system is like,
I don't agree with that either, because the last couple of years, 2 years ago, we were all sitting back and hollering about all the big plays that were being given up by the defense, and they shored that thing up. And that's what comes with veteran guys and guys that are in year 2, maybe year 3 of a defensive system. And I think they're going to be even better this year. I really do think they're going to be even better, especially the guys on the back end, Depot, the potential of that unit. You got seasoned guys up front. We'll see what happens in the middle of that defensive line, losing a guy like Mike Hall. When you have, Tyleek around and some of those other guys, can they continue to create that type of pressure up front? Because if you talk about complimentary ball, pairing that a good D-line with what could be an elite secondary, and that's really going to have offenses in a tough spot on Saturdays against this Buckeye unit.
I'm excited for the D-line. I'm excited for the DBs, but, the star that nobody's really mentioning, the guy that is going to be commanding all of these guys and putting them all into places and lining them all up, and I think he's due for a first team, second team, third team All-American year is Cody Simon.
Okay.
He's going to have a great year.
Mm-hmm. He's been waiting.
He's going to have a big year, man.
He's got the tools
for this kid.
He's definitely got the tools there. Real quick, because I want to roll through some of these other top 25 rankings from ESPN and Mark Schlabach, one of the big ESPN college football writers. Texas at 3.
Okay.
Oregon at 4, which is going to be a banger of a game for Ohio State a few weeks into the season.
We're going to expose Dylan Gabriel.
Ooh.
We're going to expose him. It's gonna get.
Listen. He's a vet now around college football. Mm-hmm. Kind of like we saw from Bo Nix and Michael Penix.
He's not Bo Nix.
I'm just saying the experience, right? Just the amount of games he's played. But I think when you have the Caleb Downs and the Denzel Burks and the Lathan Ransoms of the world, that secondary for a guy that likes to spin it, that's a really good on good matchup right there. But you think the Buckeyes are going to get the better of them that day?
Matt, you might have to find somebody to fill in for me because I might be in Eugene.
No, we're taking the show to Eugene.
Let's go.
Because I need to get to the Nike headquarters myself and just empty out the whole bank account.
Let's go.
And just empty out the whole bank account. I cannot wait for that.
Eugene,
I love also the ramping up, Depot, for the offense the week before when Iowa comes into Columbus.
Yeah.
You know they're always going to have a sticky defense. Their offense, look, probably won't challenge you too much. But that defense that Iowa's going to bring into the shoot the week before Oregon, I like that offensive unit's going to get a taste of some resistance maybe in that one before they have to go into a tough environment. He's got Notre Dame at 5, so that rounds out the top 5. The champs in Michigan, they're at 10. But the team that I found very interesting in this is ranked right before them, and that's Utah at 9. And the reason why they're intriguing to me is last year, Cam Rising, completely out of sight, out of mind. You and I were talking about him on site. Is he going to play? Is he coming back? Blah, blah, blah. He does not play at all. So they have a head coach that I really like in Coach Whittingham. You have a seasoned quarterback. It looks like they're going to return about 7 or 8 starters on defense.
Went toe-to-toe with the NFL Rookie of the Year.
There you go. There you go. And now they got some transfers that they believe in at the wide receiver position going into the Big 12. That doesn't look too daunting right now to me. I like the potential of Utah this year and what they could be doing at the end of the road.
Making the playoffs for the first time in school history.
I think now with the open field too, absolutely.
Yeah, they haven't made it yet. And I was actually looking at the top programs who haven't made it. But yeah, no, I like that team down there, and they can creep up, right? They creep up like Washington creeped up last year, and just playing in the Big 12, which, like you said, get through Texas. You give them something to, look
Texas
at.
Is gone, right?
Yeah. Sorry.
I know it's a lot of moving pieces.
I apologize.
Texas is gone.
Right.
SEC.
You got what? Oregon. You have Colorado State, Kansas State.
So that's what I'm saying. Like you look around the Big 12. And especially for a conference that hasn't been known for the style of ball that Coach Whittingham likes to play, something about Utah I like this year. I wouldn't be surprised if they found themselves, lurking in the weeds come postseason, deep into the postseason tournament. Penn State at 12. Penn State, you know me. I was a big Drew Aller guy last year.
Listen, man, I'm with you on that. I just laugh at Franklin, man. He just it's just. I would just love to hear him in his athletic director meetings because it's just like, wait. I got a new presentation I'm going to show you. This is how it's going to work this year. Like, he's just fooling everybody, man.
Yeah, it's just a big check. He's getting a big check, and he can't get over the big dogs in the Big Ten East. Any team that you're intrigued by this year, and I can tell you where they're at, any program that did well last year or maybe you think has a lot of potential this year that I could find their rating for you, at least according to Mark Slaybaugh. You got Florida State, Clemson. Florida State lost a lot.
They did.
Florida State lost a lot. Go ahead.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Yeah. I was going to tell you the team I'm excited for.
Who's that?
Miami.
Okay. And this is because I'm going to assume a big Cam Ward guy.
And I want to see Cristobal do well. And they spent a lot of money in NIL.
They really did. They really did.
A lot of Miami money.
He's got him at 24. I love the late addition coming out of the portal and Damian Martinez, the running back from Oregon State.
Absolutely.
So they got that physicality. You mentioned Cristobal. He was a trenches guy. I think he's a former offensive lineman himself. So college football is always better when the Florida schools are great.
That's the one I think that gets it done. It was Florida State last year.
Yep. And they lost a bunch of transfers. And that's why I'm curious. Like, he's high on Texas. But, you lose Xavier Worthy and Mitchell and Jonathan Brooks and Sanders.
Quinn Ayers guy.
He might be the aircraft carrier down there that could just make all things smooth. So college football is going to be incredible now, especially with all the different looks, the expanded playoffs and all that. Should be a fun ride this year. Coming up, the Cavs have a lot of important decisions to make this offseason. How involved will the owner be? Brian Windhurst knows, and you'll hear from him next. It's Rothman and Ice right here on The Fan.
There's nothing Bo Bishop can't do well, except find competent co-hosts. Bishop and Friends.
Weekdays from 9 to noon.
The Fan.
Hey, it's Anthony here for the Good Feet store. We do a segment on the show every week called Pressure, but that's about sports. What about the pressure your feet endure every day? I know mine did. When I went to the Good Feet store, I learned I was out of line. I joked, I already know that. They said, no, physically, my feet weren't being supported the right way. So when I went to the store on Polaris Parkway, they also have one on Stringtown Road, I took all the time I needed to walk around the store to see what felt and fit the best in my shoes. Once I had them in, my personal arch supports from the Good Feet store, my lower back pain went away. What a feeling. You need to get your free personalized fitting by one of their arch support specialists. For arch supports to be effective, they require a precision fit. That's why Good Feet arch supports are only available at the Good Feet store. You like them? You can wear them home. You have nothing to lose but the pain. So go to goodfeet.com today or go in and try the Good Feet feeling. Comfort, energy, performance, and pain relief, all from the Good Feet store.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential. But finding those people can be a major hassle, unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. And right now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. With ZipRecruiter, one click sends your job to hundreds of top job sites. But more than that, ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies the candidates with the skills you need, sends you a list of great matches to review, then actively invites them to apply for your job. And the results speak for themselves. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's right, the first day. Now you can focus on your business and let ZipRecruiter do the work finding the best people for you. See for yourself. Experience the ease, efficiency, and power of ZipRecruiter for free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Sunday is the time for brunching with your favorite people. And when they don't invite you, listen to us instead. Fan Sports Sunday with Tito and DeVier Posey.
Sunday morning starting at 11.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Hey, it's Anthony from my friends at Germain Honda of Dublin. You know what Rich is up to? He's got Memorial Day sales going all month long. Interest rates starting as low as 1.90% on the 2024s. The Civic LX sedan, the Accord LX sedan, and CRV LX two-wheel drives. And he's going to throw you an extra $1,000 for your trade. He wants to give you the best deal in town, and you will not be disappointed. Germain Honda of Dublin is my Honda dealer in Central Ohio, and hopefully yours on Sawmill Parkway just south of 270.
Billiards Plus has everything for the master griller in your house. Come to their showroom, open the lid, and feel the difference in their grills. Professional, top-quality equipment at great prices with a huge selection ready to go home with you. Billiards Plus on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin.
At Sunny Street Cafe, we scoff at the notion that restaurants should only have one tagline.
'Cause instead,
we got 7.
And here's our number 1.
Sunny Street Cafe, a bright spot for breakfast and lunch.
Now with 8 locations.
Low Fiber Business is now in Ohio, and your business is our priority. Low Fiber delivers reliably fast, custom, and prepackaged internet plans to meet the growing needs of your business. And our dependable 24/7 personal support means your business stays connected. Low Fiber is here, and we mean business. Find out more at 833-WANT-GLOW or visit glowfiberbusiness.com today. Glow Fiber Business is not available in all areas. Restrictions apply.
This is the sound of a popular American motorcycle. It's the sound of freedom, the open road, really good times. And this is what it sounds like with a drunk guy in it. How do you like the sound of that? Cops are cracking down on drunk motorcycle riders. If you ride drunk, you will get caught and you will get arrested. Drunk riding, over the limit, under arrest. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Transportation.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Looks like we're going to be tracking quite a few clouds out there today, but there will be sunshine as well. Highs will be in the upper 80s, and as we go towards tonight, we drop it down to the mid-60s. Look for scattered showers on your Wednesday with highs in the upper 80s. I'm Doppler 10 meteorologist Dylan Robichaud on 97.1 The Fan.
Bet365 is the exclusive online sportsbook of Rothman and Ice. Whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365.
This is Rothman and Ice.
Sponsored by Pella Columbus. Windows and doors that go beyond.
Welcome back in. Bottom of the hour. Bill Bender, Sporting News. We'll talk all things college football with him. We got DeVier Posey, the former Buckeye wide receiver, in the house. Real quick, I was having a conversation with a friend the other day because CB knows and some of the listeners know, like I'm obsessed with what they have at Area 51.
You just want to know.
I'm just curiosity. Like, what's going on? Like, what's going on down there? What type of life do we have down there? What type of, I don't know, what do you got down there? So let me ask you this. If you could go, would you go?
The Area 51?
Yeah.
Absolutely. I'm a conspiracy theory. Those are the, you know how some people watch TikToks to go to bed?
Mm-hmm.
I'm deep in conspiracy theories.
What's your favorite, like theory out there?
Oh, man. Just, you know,
that won't get us into trouble.
Yeah.
That won't get us into any trouble on here.
No comment.
Nothing?
Yeah.
Tell me off the air. Because, we can get into the good stuff there. But I always say, like, if they said, hey, you can come in, you sign this NDA, like, I'm in. Like, I could be terrified coming out of that thing based off what I saw. Yeah. But I'm willing to take the risk. I'm willing to take the risk.
If +1, I'm going.
Oh, listen, we're in there like swimwear.
I'm going.
We're in there like swimwear. Very interesting offseason coming up for the Cleveland Cavaliers. They won a round this year. Orlando Magic made them earn it. Game 7 all the way through that entire series. They get it done. Then you go into the second round, and some injuries pop up, and you lose to the juggernaut that is the Boston Celtics. But there's so many different things going on that are on the plates of the front office and ownership, which we could talk about here in a second. But Brian Windhorst, who we know is very tapped into everything happening in the NBA, really a Cleveland guy through and through. He was on ESPN 850 in Cleveland, and he was asked how involved will Dan Gilbert, the owner, be in some of the offseason moves this year. And here's what he had to say.
Significantly, Dan is, more in position to be involved with the organization again. And, he had his other son come and be the team president for a year. He left the organization this year, so there was a void, and so Dan has stepped into it. And absolutely, Dan is heavily involved, as he should be. He owns the team.
Yep.
But I do think Kobe Altman has, this team is built by Kobe Altman. It's not built by Dan Gilbert. Kobe, this is Kobe's team, and what will happen this summer will be, that's Kobe there. But obviously, Dan's going to have a big role.
Depot, where are you at with this Cavs roster, some of the decisions that they have to make, Donovan Mitchell, Darius Garland, what do you do with the bigs? What do you think needs to be at the forefront of their minds as far as turning the page to 2025?
Yeah, I just wonder with this roster group, is this the ceiling? Can this group get better? Can this group really compete in the East? What do we have to do to compete in the East? Is it time to blow it up? Start over, and they've done it a few times.
Yeah,
they've done it a few times. The most recent blow up and start over was they, right after Bron left, they tried, blew it up, got Kyrie, started it over. Bron came back, and they were able to win a championship. Mm-hmm. And you just wonder with this team, is it time to really go get that superstar? Darius Garland is a good player, and Donovan Mitchell is a good player. But I don't know if they're number one guys.
Ooh.
I don't know.
Either one of them. See, no. I think Donovan is.
I don't.
Based off of what I've seen from him in Utah and Cleveland. I do. I think he can be that guy. I think when you bring up DG, talking Garland as well, the fit doesn't seem to be that great. And we had a lot of storylines coming right out of their season ender against Boston, where if Donovan does sign this extension, he's got 1 year left on the contract, but he is extension eligible this offseason, that Darius may want out.
Yep.
And I that's to me a big blow. Who knows what you get in return on that? But I also think the Jared Allen, Evan Mobley thing may have run its course, because there's some people out there that believe Evan is more suited to be a center, more so than a power five in the league. So if you could flip Jared Allen, and there's been a report that came out yesterday that there seems to be some teams and some contenders that would like to acquire Jared Allen's
he can be a good
services.
Fit for a lot of places.
I believe so too. So if you could flip Jared Allen, if you have Donovan Mitchell in the mix, and I know Brian Windhorst reported as well that the Cavs have a decent amount of confidence that he is going to sign that dotted line and stay around in Cleveland for a little bit of time and get some more shooting. That works that way. So I just think between maybe even J.B. Bickerstaff conversations, which I would keep J.B. Bickerstaff around.
He did a good job.
I did too. Dealt with a bunch of injuries, had them as a top 5 seed the last couple of years. I think he's done his part as a head coach with some funky things going on around him. So I wouldn't want to go searching for a new head coach either this offseason as well. But between your 4 stars, Darius, Donovan, Jared, and Evan, it doesn't seem like it's meshing the exact way that they wanted to. And to your point, maybe they've reached their ceiling already. So Dan Gilbert, look, no surprise to hear something like that, but sometimes owners will allow their GMs to do a lot of the heavy lifting. It seems like Dan Gilbert has sat back and allowed that to happen. This summer, that's not going to be the case because he knows this is a very critical summer for this franchise and what it's going to look like in the years to come.
Yeah, and what he's going to have to pay out. Where can he go with this draft? Guys coming off a lot of injuries. And they just didn't look like they had enough.
Yeah.
Just didn't look like they had enough. Like you look at a team like New York or Miami, they had injuries. But, if Jimmy Butler's out there, this Eastern Conference Finals looks different. If Julius Randle is healthy, this Eastern Conference Finals may look different. If Giannis is healthy, this looks different. But Jared Allen is gone, and you guys just look like you guys can't compete.
Yeah.
So
head-scratching stuff there. So we shall see. You mentioned during the break, you were like, so what do you think of Anthony Edwards?
I haven't got to talk to you about Ant-Man yet.
And it's one of my favorite things in sports is when you see a guy that has the potential to be a dude.
And you're watching his moment.
Become the dude.
You watch their moment.
And that's exactly what's happening right now with Anthony Edwards. Before you give your take on Ant-Man and maybe what you think they can do in the postseason, we got to run back this interaction from the other day.
Okay, I have not been to Minnesota in probably 20 years. Bring your ass.
He's one of those players that I will watch his press conferences.
I will watch his reality show.
Just anything that he does, I think is absolutely hilarious. So you have this guy that's a character that is a but is a superstar emerging right in front of our eyes. And like the endorsement deals this offseason are going to be through the roof. Like because companies are going to want to get their hands on this guy just because of his character. He's already been in movies before. Yep. I forget the name of the movie, but he was great in that.
With Adam Sandler.
Hustle, I believe, was the movie.
Great movie.
He was great in that. So, and he's only 22 years old.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, the thing about Ant-Man that I think I love is the old school mentality with the new school skill. Right, and he has both of those things. Like he plays with the new school pace. He has the Euros. He has the step backs. He has the 3-ball. Not really a set shooter, but he can shoot off the dribble. But he has an old school mentality. Best part of the post game interview from Game 7 for me was, man, have you guys thought about the Denver series or the Denver matchup yet? Yeah, I don't know anything about that, but I got Kyrie. Like, what?
He's just a dog, man. Like that gets thrown out a lot in sports. He is one. Because you
said my matchup is Kyrie.
He think about defense. Like you mentioned the offense and how great that is. He wants it so bad on defense, too.
I'm like, man, I love this dude. It's like he said, I got Kyrie. Like,
they're
Kyrie's
easy to
at home. He's at home like, man, what?
I'm chilling, right? Like, the game's a couple days away. Like, already, but no. Ant-Man is one of those guys, man. And, the conversation of the last, 48 to 72 hours is the face of the league. Who is that? Yeah. This guy is trying to grab a hold of that crown right now with what he's doing with the Minnesota Timberwolves. So I cannot wait to see that series. I think Game 1 is tomorrow. Yeah, so we'll get Game 1 Dallas in Minnesota 8:30 on TNT.
Yeah, it's going to be big, man. And just the leap he's going to take as a player. How does he dominate this playoffs real quick, man? He's got a chance at a championship. He's going to play for the U.S. Olympic team. Mm-hmm. I don't care who's starting. Ant-Man is starting this year. Bron, KD, Booker, all y'all going to have to sit down. That man is starting.
It might be Booker. Might be Booker.
That man is starting.
Because I think for sure, Depot, when they roll out that starting 5 for the US of A, it has to include Steph, Bron, and KD. Okay. But Devin Booker?
Ant-Man has to start on his team.
For grabs.
He has to start on his team, so he's going to dominate on the world stage, get the keys to preparation from all of these guys. Like you hear about all these younger players going to Olympics and coming back new players. Mm-hmm. So he's going to be able to train with them, U.S. basketball. He's going to get a lot of work in. And then just the person he's going to be coming into next season, he going to be up for MVP, man.
Wouldn't be surprising if he grabs a couple of those in his career. When we come back, Bill Bender, Sporting News, college football, have an interesting NIL story that popped off today, and not in a good way, from one head coach down in the SEC. We'll talk to him about that and a lot more. It's Rothman and Ice right here in the Fan.
If you consider yourself a Buckeye fan, you've come to the right place. This is your heritage sports talker and home of Ohio State Athletics, the Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Your bathroom is boring and basic too. It seems like there's nothing you can do. A better bath awaits. You'll feel brand new, relaxing in a world of peace at the Bath Authority.
And right now, get $1,500 off a new shower or bath, plus 36 months of interest-free financing. It can all be installed in as little as 1 day.
You're our priority at the Bath Authority.
Hey, Mountain Dew drinkers, it's the Mountain Dew Baja Blast 20th Baja-versary. 20 years of Baja Blast being a Taco Bell fan favorite. To celebrate this year, the tropical lime flavor of Baja Blast is in stores everywhere all year long. 366 days. That's right, it's a leap year. And for a limited time, you can collect coins for a chance to get Baja gear or a Taco Bell deal. The Mountain Dew Baja Blast 20th Baja-versary.
No purchase necessary. Open to legal residents of US 18+, subject to official rules at BajaBlast.com and 6/15/24. Void where prohibited.
Summer is almost here, and NBC4 Today is giving you a chance to swim in cash. Get ready for summer. Check out NBC4 Today every morning, and you could win $400. Watch to win all this week on NBC4 Today at 6 a.m.
Tuesday, someone's life will change forever.
A new winner will be crowned on the season finale of The Voice.
Which coach is going to get their crown as champion?
Reba McEntire, Chance the Rapper, Dan and Shay, or John Legend.
I'm going to let you in on a little secret.
What?
You will see special performances from Keith Urban, Kate Hudson, the Black Keys, and Thomas Rhett.
The season finale of The Voice.
Live Tuesday on NBC.
Tonight beginning at 8 on NBC4. Local for you. Summer is almost here, and NBC4 Today is giving you a chance to swim in cash. Get ready for summer. Check out NBC4 Today every morning, and you could win $400. Watch to win all this week on NBC4 Today at 6 a.m.
Rise and shine, jabronis.
Quite a show this morning.
There's only one place where Buckeye legends lay the smackdown. Morning Juice with Bobby and Beamer.
Weekday mornings starting at 6.
Give me a juice box,
The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Boating season is finally here, and Buckeye Lake Marina is your go-to destination for all your on-the-water needs. With the largest inventory in Central Ohio, you can choose from top brands like Bennington, South Bay, Crown Line, and more. Buckeye Lake Marina has it all. Pontoon boats, luxury tri-toon boats, even merch. Open 7 days a week to serve you better. Find your next dream boat at Buckeye Lake Marina. Visit BuckeyeLakeMarina.com today for all your on-the-water needs. The good life, the lake life, starts at Buckeye Lake Marina.
When it comes to getting a new roof, are you confident letting just anyone on the roof of your home? I'm Craig Schottenstein, owner of Schottenstein Roofing. Our team is dedicated to delivering outstanding value on every roof we repair or replace. Whether residential or commercial, Schottenstein Roofing meets the needs of every customer. From roof installation and repair to siding and gutters, you name it, we do it. Call Schottenstein Roofing, 614-321-8888 to schedule your free inspection today. Go to SchottensteinRoofing.com.
We are back, and we are looking at a pretty lopsided matchup, Jim.
That's right, Ron. I mean, in one corner, we've got a 175-pound guy, and in the other, a 6,000-ton heavyweight train.
Jim, this guy has no idea what he's getting himself into.
It's no contest. Every day, people tempt fate and die trespassing on railroad tracks. See tracks? Think train.
Progressive knows finding your new home was a dream come true. You wanted it close to town, with a picture window overlooking a yard. And you found it. Now, when you sit down to dinner, you've got front row seats too. Your neighbor's daily pickleball game. Progressive can't save you from your noisy neighbors, but we can save you money when you bundle your home and auto with us. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
Rothman and Ice is sponsored by your local Pella Window and Door showroom on Gemini Parkway. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Like Yoda, Rothman will limp onto the golf course, talk about how stiff his back is, wonder how he can even make it through a hole, and then proceed to kick your ass. You're listening to Rothman and Ice.
Welcome back in. Matty Ice, DeVier Posey, former Buckeye wide receiver, holding it down for our guy AR today. Going to use the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline right now and bring on our guy, Bill Bender, covers college football very well for the Sporting News. Bill, how you been, my man?
Hey, I'm doing well. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, man, anytime. You know, we love having you around here from noon to 3. Let's start with kind of an odd story that popped up today down in the SEC that involves Jaden Rashada, big-time quarterback recruit coming out of high school, and now it looks like Bill, he's suing head coach Billy Napier for the Florida Gators. What do we need to know about this whole deal?
Well, it's another example of why NIL needs guardrails. When that's a big number, $13.8 million that's alleged, and $1 million just for signing. And these are some of the concerns we have talked about over the years, and it's just getting worse. So I think this, in combination with the House versus NCAA case that is allegedly going to get settled this week, will help some of those guardrails. Jaden Rashada is going to be on his, well, he didn't play at Florida. He's going to be on his third school technically, though. Committed to Florida, Arizona State, now Georgia. Wild story indeed.
Crazy story. I mean, he was promised $13 million over 4 years and doesn't get it. It's insane. So let's stay in the SEC. Just wanted to see what you thought about this SEC East outside of Georgia this year. Is there anybody that can uncrown these guys on the SEC East, or is it theirs for the taking again?
Well, I mean, who's the third or fourth best team in the SEC now? Between a lot of people are going to pick Georgia and Texas to be those first two teams. Texas, Quinn Ewers back, Carson back in Georgia. And then I think it gets weird. I mean, Alabama should be good with Kalen DeBoer, but there's obviously going to be some radical changes on the defensive side of the ball. Tennessee is going to be good. Quarterback Nico Yamaliva played well in the bowl game. Can't believe I got that right on the first pronunciation. They dominated Iowa in the bowl game. So I think they're going to be very good this year. And LSU will hang around. So, the SEC, much like the Big Ten, going to have a lot of depth and no easy games. Even Oklahoma. You can't look at Oklahoma as an easy game. Going to Norman's never easy.
Bill, I want to go back to Bama with you and get your take on Jalen Milroe and the fit with Kalen DeBoer. We watched Michael Penix and his skill set with all those wide receivers really light up a bunch of defenses the last 2 years. But when you look back at what Milroe did last year and you look at what Kalen DeBoer wants to do as an offensive coach, do you think that's going to be a good marriage?
Yeah. Jalen Milroe, if I told you, of all the returning power conference quarterbacks, he led them, all the returners, in efficiency last season. So passing efficiency, he can pass. Where he needs work is that intermediate game that makes the difference in the NFL. You got to be able to pitch in that 10 to 20 range, and he struggled with that a little bit. But he can run very well, and I think what Kalen DeBoer and Nick Sheridan will bring is an efficient passer and improvement in that area. Now, the defense is what I'm curious about, because they are going to a 4-2-5 with Kane Womack. I am so used to watching Alabama have a difference maker at every level of the defense, and Nick Saban did a good job of getting NFL-ready players. I'm wondering if the defense can continue to do that. And I'm also wondering if that's part of the reason why Caleb Downs ended up in Columbus. We can talk about NIL all you want, but Caleb's pretty all-around player that's going to be a first-round pick at the next level.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Bill, man, I want to ask you, man, with the expanded playoffs, all of these coaches are essentially experiencing this postseason for the first time. All around America, does the strategy change for your offense and for your defense coming down the stretch with this expanded playoffs? Are you really worried about a conference championships? Or is it all about let's get in and let's be playing our best football in November and December?
Well, I think there's a lot of hypotheticals we're going to see play out. I mean, one, I don't think this would ever happen, but and your listeners might slam on some steering wheels here. But let's say Ohio State's 11-0, and Michigan's like 7-4, and the quarterback's nursing an injury. Would you sit him? Would you sit some starters? I don't think they ever will, but I think there will be a point where some teams think about it. Like we want to get healthy for the playoffs. NFL teams do it all the time.
Yep.
Yeah, the Packers play the Lions in Week 18, and they sit starters. Will college football teams sit starters to get healthy for a playoff where you potentially have to win 3 or 4 games? I can't see it happening, but I'd be surprised if it does.
Bill Bender from the Sporting News talking all things college football, joining us via the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. Bill, hit us with your thoughts on USC coming in to the Big Ten. Caleb Williams is obviously gone now. He's up in Chicago doing his thing. Now here they are. They're going to have some odd scheduling stuff with, games kicking off bright and early on their side of things. And just the travel, I'm sure, will be funky for them. But just the football team that's going to come out of the tunnel led by Lincoln Riley this year, what do you think we're going to be looking at?
Well, Miller Moss took hold of the starting quarterback job, and that was good. He had 6 touchdowns in the Holiday Bowl. They should be good on the offensive side of the ball. I wonder, in the past, September, when the Big Ten school went out to the Pac-12 school, they'd struggle on the West Coast, and vice versa. Now there were different games where that didn't happen, but I'm wondering about the travel and how that stresses out a team like USC. I still think it's going to be tough for Big Ten teams to go to the Coliseum, particularly in prime time, that late night window that the Pac-12 loves. But in contrast, I think it's going to be tough for USC to go to the Big House and go to Happy Valley and play in November. I think that's the one everybody's excited about, to see how these West Coast schools react to Columbus when it's cold. I don't want to think about cold weather. I'm looking outside right now. I don't want to think about snow or any of that stuff.
It's the reality, man. I want to see a West Coast team play in a snow game. I just can't wait to see it. No, but I'm excited for the expanded playoffs, expanded leagues. Our first look, I feel like we're entering a new era, Bill, and this is our first time to visually actually see all of these teams in new leagues in this expanded playoffs, man. So I'm excited about that.
Oh, I think I am too. I mean, in a couple of weeks, we'll put together our bowl projections for, the first time and trying to predict 12 teams. And I think it's a little bit of an experiment of sorts. Again, that House versus NCAA ruling, you're going to see a lot written about that later in the week. I think we're opening the door towards revenue sharing. We get the video game back. I've spent a lot of hours in college playing the video game and plugging the names in and those kind of things. So I think that's another exciting wrinkle to the season. Yeah, like my son's in 7th grade, and I wanted to tell him, I was like, hard is having to get the memory card and getting all the names on NCAA football. That you're not going to have to experience that like I did.
Oh, that's funny. Bill, real quick, I want to go over to Notre Dame and get your feel on the quarterback position for them going in to this year. Last year was Sam Hartman, the veteran guy, and now Coach Freeman goes down to a similar, portion of the country to grab another seasoned quarterback in Riley Leonard. Between Riley Leonard and Sam Hartman, do you think that Riley is going to provide maybe a safer floor, maybe even a higher ceiling for Notre Dame this year?
Well, it depends on his health.
Yeah.
I had another follow-up procedure on his ankle in spring practice. I like what Marcus Freeman's doing. I really like the defensive side of the ball and what they have coming back. But right now, and we'll have our top 25 quarterbacks later this week, and I'll give you a little spoiler. Riley Leonard will probably be in about the same spot as Sam Hartman. And we had really high hopes for Sam Hartman last year. And I would say he probably underperformed what we thought he would do there. Not by much, but a little bit. And I think that's a fair assessment. So, for Notre Dame, I think Riley Leonard's mobility, using those receivers, winning big games, their schedule's gettable. I mean, if you look at their schedule, there's no reason why they shouldn't be in the first 12-team playoff.
Will Cam Rising make an appearance in that top 25 list?
He will.
Okay.
And, the fun part about that Big 12 is going to be the quarterbacks. It's not just Cam Rising. It's Shedeur Sanders, Noah Fafita. They're going to have fun games. I don't know if they'll have the ratings that the Big 12 or the SEC does, but those games are going to be fun. And, watching Arizona or Oklahoma State, Kansas, Jalen Daniels, he's another one I really like if he can stay healthy for Kansas. What's going to be a wild potential thing that could happen is his first year of the 12-team playoff, probably the worst college football program of my lifetime is Kansas. I think they could easily make the playoff.
It'll be crazy. It's going to be wild. It's going to be a wild new party for all of us college football fans to attend. Bill, we appreciate your time, man. Enjoy that sunshine, and I'm sure we'll talk to you soon.
I will. It's always great visiting with you guys. Thanks so much for having me.
Yeah, anytime. Bill Bender from the Sporting News covering college football was on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. When we come back, we'll hit you with the Buckeye Bullets, and there's an NFL vet that believes that the best is yet to come for a former Buckeye. We'll tell you who that is after the break. It's Rothman and Ice right here on The Fan.
The Big Nine was a sad, incomplete place. Enter Ohio State. The rest is history. The Buckeye Show.
Weeknights at 6.
The Fan.
DraftKings Sports and Social is now open in Columbus Short North. Get ready for the ultimate experience where sports and the party collide into an atmosphere unlike any other. Visit sportsandsocial.com/Columbus and follow us on social for details. DraftKings Sports and Social. Drink, eat, be social.
Grab life by the chicken fingers and savor the day with hand-battered, cooked-to-order chicken fingers, crispy crinkle-cut fries, buttery Texas toast, and that secret cane sauce that makes everything that much better.
Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers. One love.
Now at UDF, buy 3 everyday favorites with UDrive Plus to quickly stack an extra 20 cents in gas savings. That includes snacks like Fritos and Doritos, candy like M&M's and Reese's, and ice cream like ours. UDF, made for you. Specially marked products with an opted-in UDrive account.
Hey, it's Anthony here for the Good Feet store. You know, we do a segment on the show every week called Pressure, but that's about sports. What about the pressure your feet endure every day? I know mine did. When I went to the Good Feet store, I learned I was out of line. I joked, I already know that. They said, no, physically, my feet weren't being supported the right way. So when I went to the store on Polaris Parkway, they also have one on Stringtown Road, I took all the time I needed to walk around the store to see what felt and fit the best in my shoes. Once I had them in, my personal arch supports from the Good Feet store, my lower back pain went away. What a feeling. You need to get your free personalized fitting by one of their arch support specialists. For arch supports to be effective, they require a precision fit. That's why Good Feet arch supports are only available at the Good Feet store. You like them? You can wear them home. You have nothing to lose but the pain. So go to goodfeet.com today or go in and try the Good Feet feeling. Comfort, energy, performance, and pain relief, all from the Good Feet store.
Care Heating and Cooling. When you need a company you can trust, call 1-800-COOLING.
Common Man and T-Bone.
Bees know they're about to die because it's getting cold out and they're ornery, and you roll down your window and say, "Can I have a..."
Common Man and T-Bone.
Sponsored by the Hinderer Motor Company.
Weekdays 3 to 6 on The Fan.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential. But finding those people can be a major hassle, unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. And right now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. With ZipRecruiter, one click sends your job to hundreds of top job sites. But more than that, ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies the candidates with the skills you need, sends you a list of great matches to review, then actively invites them to apply for your job. And the results speak for themselves. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's right, the first day. Now you can focus on your business and let ZipRecruiter do the work finding the best people for you. See for yourself. Experience the ease, efficiency, and power of ZipRecruiter for free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6759. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6759. That's 800-575-6759. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
The Fan Guest Hotline is sponsored by Accurate Heating and Cooling and Bryant, doing whatever it takes to keep you and your home comfortable. The Fan.
Rothman and Ice present Buckeye Bulletin.
Sponsored by Logan AC and Heat Services. Don't go through another air conditioner breakdown. For fast, friendly service, call the experts at Logan Services now for a free estimate and next day air installation.
All right, Depot, let's knock out a Buckeye Bulletin. Got the former Buckeye wide receiver DeVier Posey in the house today. Filling in for AR. You know, let's talk about a Buckeye in the NFL that's had a tough road in the National Football League. And we're talking about the Predator, Chase Young. Chase Young, when he left Ohio State, felt like this man was on his way to absolute greatness. And unfortunately, the injury stuff hasn't left him alone. When you look at the games played throughout his career, it's 9-3, 9-7. And then there's a couple good ones in there. You get 15 and 16 games out of him. Found himself in a good situation last year, almost won a Super Bowl, right? With the San Francisco 49ers, but now here he is, Depot, and he's in New Orleans, which has kind of been the home for a lot of Buckeyes over the last few years, but a vet and one of the pillars down in New Orleans, especially on that defensive side of the ball, has been Cameron Jordan. And he said this about Chase Young, quote, "I think Chase Young is going to be great for our defense. We already got Carl Granderson, who's stellar these last couple years. I think with the growth of him being on the opposite side, when he gets the right health physically, he's going to be another piece we can add on. At some point in my mind, I'm spinning like it's going to be me, Chase, and Carl Granderson on the field at the same time on crucial third downs, and I'm probably going to have to go in the middle. I don't care. Whatever it takes, I'll line up and be that Zadarius Smith over the middle, roaming and trying to get active. I think it adds another weapon to our defense. Just got to put it all together, man. That's all."
I just love when guys like Chase just get a hold of that vet like Cam Jordan late in their career or mid in career. Like, because think about Washington, he caught Ryan Kerrigan on his way out. And then, you know, obviously Bosa, but the bulk of their D-line is pretty young, pretty same age. But you find a guy like Cam Jordan who can really show you the ropes, show you how to handle yourselves. There has been, on top of Buckeyes doing well in New Orleans, you think of guys like Teddy Ginn, you think of guys that go there at Roby, and they kind of just reset their careers. You need reset sometime, Maddie, and this could be a great opportunity for him to reset.
I completely agree. And staying down there in New Orleans, I want to run this by you because, you know, our family is Bet365 here on Rothman and Ice.
Yep.
And I went to look at the category that is labeled most receiving yards during the regular season.
Mm-hmm.
And you do have a couple Buckeyes that are tied for the same odds this year. Chris Olave at 16-1 and Garrett Wilson at 16-1.
Yeah.
If you had to bet on one of those Buckeyes to bring home the award of most receiving yards just during the regular season, which one would you bet on this year?
Last year, I would have easily picked Garrett Wilson. But this year, I'm going to easily pick Garrett Wilson. And here's why. Because Aaron Rodgers is healthy. I think he'll stay healthy. But I think Derek Carr is going to struggle a little bit.
It wasn't great last year.
He's going to struggle a little bit.
It wasn't great last year. And Olave, he just been fighting off average to bad quarterback play since he got in the league and still been highly productive. That's how good of a receiver
he has the Terry problem.
Yeah.
The Terry McLaurin.
And that may be fixed now. that may be fixed now with Jane Daniels in the house. But I am so with you,
Let's
Depot.
throw Terry on there with that.
Well, where is Terry? I can find. Let me find. Well, here's the thing.
Terry possibly is on there.
Before you get to Terry, there is Marvin Harrison Jr. at 20-1.
Yeah.
Where can I find Terry McLaurin's down at 40-1? So I think Vegas is looking at rookie quarterback.
I'll take it.
But I'll
take the odds. The odds are probably crazy.
40-1. That's pretty good. that is pretty good because I like the pairing of Jane Daniels with Cliff Kingsbury as an offensive coordinator, especially with what Cliff did with Kyler Murray in Arizona, his rookie year. So that's some pretty good value because Terry, he can go, man. He can go. And last year he had Sam Howell, and just Sam Howell was throwing all his interceptions all over the place.
That's the bet I like right there.
I want to go back to Garrett Wilson.
Yeah.
Because CB and AR, we've had this conversation, and I said that Garrett Wilson, you could talk me into taking Garrett Wilson in fantasy as the number one receiver this year because I think he is ready to pop off. Like, I think with how great, not good, how great I think he's going to be if Aaron Rodgers is healthy.
He's going to have that seat like the year CeeDee Lamb had last year, this year.
Or a Puka Nacua type of year like we saw last year. I believe he has that in him. He just has not had anywhere near good enough quarterback play. So at 16-1, I just think Garrett Wilson is in great hands, especially if they get Mike Williams opposite of him consistently as a deep ball threat. But it's the guy that you mentioned. It's all about Aaron Rodgers. But this is what Ohio State has done. From your time, before your time, until now, there are so many good to great Ohio State wide receivers in the league. And Marvin's going into a situation to where he is the unquestioned number one wide receiver in Arizona. So his numbers in the desert wouldn't be surprised for a rookie if those are spectacular as well.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I'm also excited to see, not that like first tier of Buckeye wide receivers in the league. I'm excited to see like that second tier, third tier guys and see how they fare up because a few of them are in new places like Curtis Samuel. He's up in Buffalo. I want to see how he turns out. I want to see how Noah Brown, backs up that second gear. And then also with Mike Thomas, happening with Mike Thomas and where he's going to end up. So
hasn't signed anywhere, right?
Yeah, I know we always talk about the good guys, but for me, I watch all of our guys, and I want to know what's going to happen with those second and third tier guys, now.
And also, Depot, what type of leap are we getting from JSN, Jackson Smith and Jigba in year two? Because it started to look better down the stretch, and there's mouths to feed, veteran mouths to feed, and Tyler Lockett and DK. DK's we know can be an absolute beast, but JSN.
Does he take that second year leap?
I think he can. I think he absolutely can. That is today's Buckeye Bulletin. Top of the hour. Last year, coming out of the draft, Bryce Young was the guy. The first overall pick. The journey for him was rough. How's he doing down in Carolina? You'll hear from him. And also, when we look at the comeback player of the year candidates in the NFL for next year, where would we stack him up amongst some others? We'll do that next in the deep dive. It's Rothman and Ice right here on The Fan.
Unlike your deadbeat uncle, we'll never leave you stranded in a ditch when you were 6. This promo may have been a touch too specific. The Fan.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. I need you to listen up real quick. One of the largest manufacturers in the United States for CPAP machines recently announced they're suspending sales of all their breathing machines over problems with the devices. Millions of Philips Respironic ventilators and CPAP machines are being recalled now that they've reached a plea agreement with the FDA. That all doesn't sound good. And maybe you're thinking, yeah, that's why I'm not going to deal with my sleep apnea because I don't want to have a bulky CPAP. Well, this is where you need to call my guy, Dr. Mark Levy. Dr. Mark Levy has dedicated his practice to helping people who suffer from sleep apnea, and he can create a custom mouthpiece for you that stops your snoring and effectively treats your sleep apnea with no CPAP machine. Yeah, he's in network with most major medical insurers and is a Medicare provider too. This is Dr. Mark Levy's passion. He's been doing this a long time. He wants to help you with your sleep apnea and also make it so your partner doesn't want to murder you dead because you snore so much. So do what I did. Call Dr. Mark Levy today at 1-800-MORE-SLEEP or book an appointment online at sleepbettercolumbus.com.
Summer is almost here, and NBC4 Today is giving you a chance to swim in cash. Get ready for summer. Check out NBC4 Today every morning, and you could win $400. Watch to win all this week on NBC4 Today at 6 a.m.
Tuesday, someone's life will change forever.
A new winner will be crowned on the season finale of The Voice.
Which coach is going to get their crown as champion?
Reba McEntire, Chance the Rapper, Dan and Shay, or John Legend.
I'm going to let you in on a little secret.
What?
You will see special performances from Keith Urban, Kate Hudson, the Black Keys, and Thomas Rhett.
The season finale of The Voice.
Live, Tuesday on NBC.
Tonight beginning at 8 on NBC4. Local for you. Summer is almost here, and NBC4 Today is giving you a chance to swim in cash. Get ready for summer. Check out NBC4 Today every morning, and you could win $400. Watch to win all this week on NBC4 Today at 6 a.m.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym for a while.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could be lower testosterone.
Lower T?
Yeah, I went through it a while back. Once you hit 40, your body has less free testosterone. I got Nugenix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me.
I've seen that ad on TV. Is it for real?
Oh, yeah. The key ingredient is something called Tesnor, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean.
And it's made a difference for you?
Man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again, at work, in the gym, and in the bedroom.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah, you just need to send them a text.
Text STAPLE to 321-321 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T, the #1 selling testosterone booster at GNC. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast. Absolutely free. Text STAPLE to 321-321. That's STAPLE to 321-321.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. Sports Center.
Good afternoon. I'm Timmy Hall. The NIL era is in full swing in college football, even though we don't even quite know how it works. We're excited for the EA Sports college football video game, that's for sure. Do you remember the NIL deal that was to pay high school quarterback Jaden Rashada over $13 million to go to Florida? It didn't happen. He bopped around. Now he's at Georgia, and he's suing Florida coach Billy Napier and others over it. In baseball, the Guardians, they are a hot team right now. They have won 4 in a row. They swept the Twins. They took game 1 over the Mets. Game 2 is tonight at 6:10. The Reds, they are the opposite. They're going to host the Padres tonight at 6:40. They've lost 4 of their last 5. And we're back to swing in the NBA Eastern Conference Finals. Game 1, Boston taking on the Pacers at 8 right here on The Fan after the Buckeye Show. Breaking sports news on The Fan.
Most shows just skim the surface, but Rothman and I feel like the biggest story of the day deserves a closer look. It's time for a deeper dive.
Sponsored by Maxima Concrete. Visit MaximaConcrete.com today to schedule your free estimate.
All right, welcome back in. Matty Ice, DeVier Posey, chopping it up with you on a Tuesday. Really appreciate your time. Thanks to Brenden Deeg from The Score, who covers the NFL, and our guy Bill Bender from The Sporting News, who covers college football, for hopping on with us earlier. If you missed those interviews, or if you ever miss anything from our show, wherever you get your podcast, type in Rothman and Ice. Those interviews and a lot more will be waiting for you. Before we dive into some of the award stuff for the 2024 season, right before we came back to break, we got some of the first footage up on TV from the Pittsburgh Steelers camp. OTAs going on right now, and it's still an odd dynamic to see the former Buckeye out there, Justin Fields running around at number 2, and then you got Russell Wilson, Mr. Unlimited, out there at number 3, battling it out for this QB1 spot. So it starts now, because I know Russell was crowned by Mike Tomlin as the guy that has pole position.
No.
But you think that this is as even as it could possibly get right now going into all these off-season team workouts?
See, I don't really look at it from the competitive standpoint. I look at it from, the business development standpoint. Like, it's the same situation. Jordan Love, Aaron Rodgers, Patrick Mahomes, Alex Smith, Michael Penix Jr., Kirk Cousins, Russell Wilson, Justin Fields. Like, this is in that category for me when you're talking about this team doing things to support Justin's growth, right? I don't look at it like Russell versus Justin, because those dudes got to go to work every day. Who wants to be in an environment like that? You know what I mean? Like nobody wants to. Like, us as fans, we want that because we want to get an edge for our fantasy. We want to understand who's leading our team to the next level. But from my perspective, I look at it like, I'm so happy Justin gets to be around a guy like Russell because he was thrown to the wolves. To be around a quarterback that's won a Super Bowl, that's played with a good defense, who understands how to play that type of ball, where it's like, hey, Justin, you don't have to throw that ball. Our defense has had 2 3 and outs. We're in this part of the field. Just put the ball where it needs to be. Mm-hmm. Let's punt it. Like, to get that type of knowledge for a guy who's talented as Justin Fields, in a Mike Tomlin system? Come on, man. You can't beat that, man.
The interesting part of all this for me when it comes to Justin Depot is at what point in time does the head coach and Tomlin and the front office feel like we have to find out what Justin is before we let him hit free agency next year?
Well, you'll know. It'll be so you'll know it's happening.
Who's playing more games?
It's
at
happening
quarterback
at some point this year.
Mr. Unlimited.
Or Justin Fields.
Oh, man. I would love to see Russell in a supporting role for Justin.
Okay.
I just do. I think for me, if I'm the GM or the head coach, I think that's what happens, whether it's in the preseason, he takes it, whether if he's named the starter, whether it happens in the first month of the season. But I think for Pittsburgh's, greatest chance, they need to support Justin as much as possible.
Because he gives you obviously much more runway with his age. With the age thing, it's that. And look, if you hit, I don't think the contract would be through the roof. Even if let's say they have a bye week in week 9. So pretty much right in the middle of their schedule.
Yep.
Let's say you give Russ the keys up until that point and you give Justin the second half of the year to show you who he is.
Yep.
That's not the worst place to be. I think either way, they're in a good position because financially you're not committing anything to Russell Wilson. Less than $2 million this year in his contract. Denver's eating all of that money from that contract that they handed him.
So that they have no financial responsibility for him to start this year.
You know how the game works. Okay. Sometimes you follow the money, and the money is going to force coaches into certain decisions.
Right.
And that's not going to be the case.
Yes, age against them.
Correct. So I don't think that's going to be the case. So that's why when Mike Tomlin said that, it's like, okay, he's the veteran. He's the guy that's been to a Super Bowl, won a Super Bowl, should have won a second one, all of that. But his play hasn't warranted him walking into Pittsburgh and being the guy. So I think Justin absolutely has a real chance. And starting today with their OTAs, if he starts to show Mike Tomlin, I'm your guy, I think that's the guy they're going to play. Now, I do want to see, for petty reasons alone, that week 2 game in Denver. Because Russell Wilson and Sean Payton, it was as clear as day that those dudes does not vibe out at all. Like, you remember the video of Sean Payton just absolutely ripping Russell Wilson on the sideline, which I'm just like, okay.
I just don't think there's a world that Russell plays all 16 games and this team goes to the playoffs. Like, I just feel like
I'd make that bet with you that Russ is not going to be their starting quarterback for every game this year. I absolutely will roll with you on that.
And just the narrative from a sports, cover, media person like myself, I would love the storyline of Justin Fields being a starter in the AFC North. Oh my gosh.
Oh man. And like if he reaches the peak of his powers with the quarterbacks that are already in this division with Lamar and Joey B and those two guys with all the accolades they have already, and Deshaun, who's got a great past and has had a murky couple years, but you still have people that believe that, hey, it's still in there. And if that guy comes back,
I want this narrative more than Russell Wilson's narrative.
The AFC North would be absolutely crazy. So there's no doubt. There's a lot of pressure on both quarterbacks right now, and that's. I mean, you better than me. Tell me, like, this is in a situation like this. Yes, it's just OTAs, but all of these reps have to matter, right?
I feel like the pressure's on Russ
because he's the big brand name and the Super Bowl winner and all of that stuff.
Russ, man.
First game of the year for them is in Atlanta, which is an odd quarterback dynamic as well.
Just making it as weird as you.
What the heck is going on in Atlanta? But hey, you know what? Kirk Cousins got his bag, and now here we are. So let's talk about another quarterback that's for me, Debo, been out of sight, out of mind.
I know.
As a guy that was a 1-1 in the draft last year in Bryce Young.
I know.
It was really bad, and now he's down there at OTAs, and I don't know if CB has any sound or anything. Let me know if you have anything, but let's hear from him and maybe some of the things that has been going on for him down in Carolina.
This is new energy, so a lot of new philosophy. So for me, it's just about taking all that coaching. I trust them and learning from them. So just want to keep building.
So he mentioned some of the new stuff going on. What he's referring to, new head coach, right? Dave Canales comes up from Tampa Bay. He was the offensive coordinator down there with Baker last year, and they did some good things, right? Baker and the weapons, Mike Evans and company, got into the postseason, won a game, and then got bounced out, and Baker got himself a bag. And he absolutely earned it. And so you look at the draft, and we were talking about Texas earlier, right? And, some of the guys that, they lost, that Quinn Ewers is going to have to elevate some of the new guys, but, Sanders at tight end, Jonathan Brooks, Sailor Leggett, who, that's the best accent in the game. Is it not?
Dude.
Like, how can you not love that dude, right? Like you hear his accent and you can't help but love that guy. But this front office down in Carolina has done everything they can on paper right now to support Bryce Young.
Mm-hmm.
Are you? Let me go back. Where were you on Bryce Young coming out of college last year, going into the NFL, and also what do you think he can be?
I thought he was the second best quarterback in the draft. Obviously, I was biased to C.J. Stroud in that game. I watched with my own eyes of what he put up in, versus Georgia in the Peach Bowl. And I think the thing with Bryce, unfortunately, I think a lot of what kind of happened to Justin Fields will kind of happen to him. Like, that first staff that brings you in gets kind of washed out. Mm-hmm. And then it's all on you with this new staff. And based on the rule of two, they're going to give you all the tools you need to be successful. But at some point, they're going to be like, you weren't our guy. And we're going to go get our guy.
Let me hop in real quick because I know what the rule of two is.
Yes.
And for the listeners that maybe haven't heard you break down what that is,
yeah, man,
break that down for the football fans out there.
Every president gets 2 GMs, every GM gets 2 head coaches, and every head coach gets 2 quarterbacks, whether that's drafted or free agency.
There you go.
So based on that rule, I think this new staff, they're from Tampa, but they're going to bring them up. But to save their job, if it doesn't work out with Bryce Young, they're going to get their guy in there.
Let's talk a little bit about comeback player of the year odds real quick. Bryce Young, he is nowhere near the top. He's at 60-1. They did also bring in Deontay Johnson from Pittsburgh. That trade I do like for them. Now, because last year it was the top of the depth chart is Adam Thielen. And he's solid, but you don't need to be in a world where Adam Thielen is your number 1 wide receiver. That's just, you're not cooking too well in the kitchen if that's the case. But the leader in the clubhouse for comeback player of the year right now is Ron at plus 140, followed up by Joey B. And then you get to a couple guys that I think are very intriguing. Anthony Richardson at plus 600 and Kirk Cousins at plus 600 as well. Between the two of those guys, if you had to bet on one, where are you spending a little bit of Depot's money?
I'm going to spend it on Anthony Richardson.
Ceiling is high. The ceiling is very, very high.
Yes.
You mentioned the AFC North and the potential of that quarterback play.
Yeah.
The AFC South, just potential.
Yeah.
Is absolutely, I think, can be very special for years to
Levis,
come.
Richardson, Lawrence, and Stroud.
Levis and Richardson have the proving to do. Yep. At least we saw Anthony out there early, and he looked good. He did. Yep. He looked good. And I think the stat is like he and Jonathan Taylor were on the field for less than 10 snaps together. So we haven't even seen that force. Like that could be kind of Baltimore
and they
Midwest.
get a whole offseason together because Jonathan Taylor had his contract stuff last year, so it was kind of in and out.
Contract stuff had, I believe, the ankle injury as well. I mean, you talk about maybe potentially some of the nastiest RPO duos in the NFL: Anthony Richardson, Jonathan Taylor, Jalen Hurts and Saquon, Lamar and Derrick Henry. Like those are just 3 off the top of my head to where defenses are going to be in a tough spot. But I'm with you on Anthony because I love this skill set coming out of Florida. He was just like the word raw was used a lot like it is now with Drake May. Yeah. But, man, they brought in some good weapons around him. So I like that as well. Deshaun's at 18-1. And then you get into Herbert at 25-1. And then Daniel Jones is at 28-1. I would not bet on Daniel Jones. Like it seems like his time is up.
Did Flacco win last year?
Flacco did win.
Is there a dark horse like Flacco at home that's not on a roster? Yo, that story was so good last year.
If I can give you a dark horse. Like I would consider, now this is a bit of a long shot, but because I don't believe that much in Daniel Jones, Drew Lock at 80-1 if he steals that job in New York and becomes their QB1 and somehow puts it all together. Maybe. I don't love that though. And then, I mean, let's say Gardner Minshew wins the job in Las Vegas. 50-1. You do have Devontae Adams. Jacoby Myers is a good, solid number 2 receiver, and they drafted Brock Bowers. You're a big Brock Bowers guy. No. What don't you see?
I just don't feel like it's going to translate.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't see like the routes. But we'll see. I hope I'm wrong.
Now Georgia did use him in a lot of behind the line of scrimmage stuff and
pro stuff, like
the bubble screens, and you're talking about like lining it up. And I know like the noise, you like to like a lot
I
of
want to see him
like
be the safety. Yeah.
But those are kind of the guys I like that are because it's tough. Like for a guy like J.K. Dobbins at 60-1, is he going to get enough carries and all of that? Like I just don't see it. Tank Dell's at 35-1. Pair him with CJ. You would have to have a monster year. So, yeah, for Bryce Young, this is a huge year for him, right? Because if this goes flat again in Carolina, then they may have to go into the offseason thinking about, do we have the guy? Do we need to go elsewhere? When we come back in pre-snap Reeves, Dan Orlovsky, a lot of contract conversation around Tua and Trevor Lawrence and Jordan Love. Dan Orlovsky, he gave his take on Trevor Lawrence and whether or not he thinks he deserves high-end money. We'll hit you with his take after the break. It's Rothman and Ice right here on The Fan.
If you haven't thought about Buckeye football today, I'm sorry to tell you that you're dead. Our condolences. Your home of the Buckeyes, The Fan.
Tire Discounters announces our latest breakthrough, TD Chat BS. This software allows us to detect untruths, deceptions, and even outright lies. Let's listen in as we call a local car dealer.
Hi, I drive your model of auto or truck. I need servicing.
Oh, that's great. You should always call the dealer for service to make sure your warranty stays intact.
Untruth.
Excuse me?
I can attend at Tire Discounters for all services, even for all manufacturers' scheduled maintenance. Warranty not affected.
But it's only us dealers who really know our own models.
Deception. Tire Discounters ASE technicians are certified experts for all makes and models.
Okay, maybe.
How many dollars do you charge me for? As few as Tire Discounters?
We are not that much more.
Outright lie. Ending call now. Bye. Adios. Aloha. Hasta la pasta.
Don't miss Tire Discounters Savor the Summer Sale. Details at tirediscounters.com.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. Spending the money to replace our home's windows is rarely something we get excited about. We usually do it because our energy bills suck or our current windows, well, they're too messed up. But in working with the local Pella Columbus team, my eyes have been opened. New windows can legitimately change the entire look of your home. They've got windows and colors and styles like I've never seen, and they can change everything. So go see my friends at PellaColumbus.com or check them out at their brand new Polaris showroom.
The standing room only, with all eyes on the 18th green.
There was some speed to this.
The sudden roars.
Gauged it just right.
That Sunday celebration.
From Oslo to Ohio, Victor Hovland is the champion.
It's better live. Join us at the Memorial Tournament presented by Workday, June 3rd through 9th. Visit memorialtickets.com today.
Here's a quick listening guide. When something's on The Fan, it's on the station you're listening to right now. If I say something's on ESPN Columbus, it's on 1460 AM and The Fan's HD2. When in doubt, stream it on the Fan app. Thank you and good night.
Hey, it's Bobby. When you have a large investment like a new roof, you want to work with a company you can trust. One with 30 years of experience and hundreds of 5-star Google reviews, 0 complaints with the BBB. That's Newman Roofing. So go check them out at newmanroofing.com or give them a call at 614-NEW-ROOF.
Care Heating and Cooling. Honest technicians, honest pricing. Call 1-800-COOLING.
Listen up, gamers. Mountain Dew has always been your go-to for a refreshing citrus kick. Now it's also your go-to for gaming rewards. With Mountain Dew Gaming Rewards, you just look for codes under the caps of specially marked 20-ounce bottles of Mountain Dew. Enter those codes online to bank points, and then redeem them for awesome gaming gear. Everything from gift cards, game copies, controllers, consoles, custom Mountain Dew gaming gear, and more. Join Mountain Dew Gaming Rewards now.
Open to legal U.S. residents 18+. Subject to program terms at mountaindewgaming.com. It's 1525, voter prohibited.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy real estate as is fast for cash. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. I buy vacant properties, inherited homes, divorce situations, death in the family. I even buy my tenants won't pay me the rent houses. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
This is the sound of a popular American motorcycle. It's the sound of freedom, the open road, really good times. And this is what it sounds like with a drunk guy on How do you like the sound of that? Cops are cracking down on drunk motorcycle riders. If you ride drunk, you will get caught and you will get arrested. Drunk riding. Over the limit, under arrest. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Transportation.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Look for a blend of sun and clouds with temperatures climbing to the upper end of the 80s. As we go towards tonight, look for partly cloudy skies, low 65. And then on your Wednesday, we are tracking the risk of strong thunderstorms. Hail and damaging winds appear to be at the highest risk on Wednesday night. I'm Doppler 10 meteorologist Dylan Robichaud on 97.1 The Fan.
Bet365 is the exclusive online sportsbook of Rothman and Ice. Whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365.
Rothman and Ice present Pre-Snap Reads.
Sponsored by the Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare.
All right, let me let you know right now that at Bet365, we don't do ordinary. See for yourself when you sign up today and get $150 in bonus bets when you bet just $5. All right, here's what I'm looking at tonight, Depot. We got Pacers and Celtics at 8 o'clock tipping off the Eastern Conference Finals. And as we all know, or if you don't know, the Boston Celtics love to give up the three ball, get up the three ball. So I'm looking at Derek White. And at Bet365 right now, they've got his over-under for threes made at 3.5. I really like the juice on that at plus 130 because we know the focus from the Pacers is going to be on Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. So I'm looking at Derek White as a guy tonight that I think can knock down 4 threes in game number 1. I think the pace is going to play in the favor of this bet just because of the amount of shots that Boston's going to be able to get up because of Indiana. So I'm looking at Derek White. Give me the over for 3.5 threes at plus 130.
I'm taking that because I like Derek White to absolutely obliterate Nembhard today. Nembhard hasn't had a chance because he can't guard Brown or Tatum. And that, Halliburton's going to have to take one of those guys. They're just undersized a little bit. They're going to have to make some adjustments with the starting lineup to this. But like Boston, I think they might not have the bigs as some of the teams left, but the guards, those mismatches are tough.
Yeah, the guard and wing positions for sure are absolutely crazy. And I'm just like, and I know I'm getting down the road, but if you're telling me we could get Minnesota and Boston in the finals,
America wants to see.
That's what we need. We need Ant-Man in the finals. We need Ant-Man in the finals. Whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Bet365 is the official sports betting partner of the Cleveland Guardians that have won 4 games in a row. Download the Bet365 app today. 21 plus only, must be present in Ohio. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
And may the odds be ever in your favor.
I always love hearing the Hunger Games clip. Have you watched the new one with Viola Davis?
Absolutely, I did.
Just came out on Stars the other day.
Solid.
Pretty good.
I don't want to rewatch it. Yeah, but I didn't really like the last scene. It was like, wait, whoa, like this was the first Hunger Games? This is kind of...
Yeah, we had to hop in the hot tub time machine and get the history of how we got there. But I thought overall they did well. Man.
They did. I like prequels.
Yeah, me too. I'm a fan of anything Viola Davis does.
Yeah. Are you excited for the Lion King prequel?
I'm kind of...
You're not in it? You're not in on it?
You're talking about the show that's coming out on Disney Plus?
No, that's going to be a show or a movie. I thought the other day when I went to the theater, I thought maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it is going to be I like
movie.
prequels.
I think they lost me with the Beyonce Lion King. I don't remember loving that.
Okay.
Like I just, as a kid, I got the VHS, blow off the VHS and Simba. Like, just give me the OG.
You don't want to know how Mufasa became king? The beef with him and his brother Scar.
You could talk me into it.
There's beef there. There's a lifetime of beef.
Yeah,
this man offed him on the cliff.
That's true. That is true. That was when I was young, that was such a tough scene to watch.
He offed him on the cliff.
Oh, just let go of the hands.
Why? He's so mad, Scar.
Yeah, that was tough.
You know what I mean?
That was tough. I mean, Disney, the old Disney VHS.
Yeah.
I used to wear mine out. Toy Story. Like I can't tell you how many times I watched Toy Story as a kid. It was absolutely ridiculous. So here we are in the offseason in the NFL. And you have some interesting quarterback contract situations that are revealing themselves as we get closer and closer to the regular season. OTAs, guys are in the building now doing team activities right now, which is always cool to see for us football fans. But down in Florida, you have a couple. You've got in Miami, you've got the Tua situation hovering over their head. And then down in Jacksonville, Duval, you've got the Trevor Lawrence situation. Dan Orlovsky, really good NFL analyst right now for ESPN. Here's his opinion on whether or not the Jags should go all in with Trevor Lawrence financially.
I mean, there's no way that we could sit here and say he deserves elite money right now. I mean, he's an elite talent, and you would be paying him because you expect him to become an elite quarterback. You would expect him to finally vault into, for the year, in the top 8 quarterback conversation. The last thing I'll say about this is we have to stop saying top 5 quarterback in the NFL. There's way more than 5 really, really, really good ones. It has to become like a top 8 conversation. Trevor hasn't ascended into that just yet. I wouldn't rush and sign if I was Trevor Lawrence. I think that this is a year, to your point, Acho, year 1 never actually happened. This is really my 3rd year into the NFL, and I know there's a ton of pressure on him to live up to expectations. Doug Peterson, I don't know if we could sit here and there's no way that the Jags go elite money. They're 17-16 with him as a starting quarterback. Yeah, he's got, 46 touchdowns, 22 picks, so good. You know what I'm saying? Good, but certainly not into that elite conversation just yet.
So when he's talking about this is his 3rd year in the league, technically, I think he's alluding to just wiping away year 1 with Urban and just all of that stuff that just went completely left. I think people look at all the stuff that was going on and willing to give Trevor. This is his 4th year, but I think that's what he's
5th year option.
And but that's what I think he's referring to is just talking about how much of a mess that situation seemed to be down there. That no quarterback, especially, right out of the gate, would probably thrive there. But he's not one of those guys that's willing to go to, I guess, the Jared Goff contract for Trevor Lawrence. Would you?
I mean, I think for Trevor Lawrence, I just we haven't seen a quarterback get drafted by a team, have some decent production, and then hit free agency after they're going to pay him. He's not going anywhere. He's going to get good money because you're not going to let a guy I feel you, Dan, but are they going to let him walk out of Duval County and go sign somewhere else in 2 years? Absolutely not. No. So he's going to get paid.
I think it's always easier said than done. Absolutely. I think it's always easier said than done to
not going to let a guy like that walk out.
To verbally have conversations of potentially moving on from guys like this when it's so hard to even find average quarterbacks in the NFL. It's
hard to find a backup in the NFL.
Correct. And think about where that franchise has been prior to Trevor Lawrence. I mean, Blake Bortles, that was a flash in the pan. 1 or 2 good years down there. But before Bortles, you got to go to Mark Brunell, I believe, is probably.
What about those Henny days?
He was pretty good. he was pretty good. But I think Trevor gives them the highest ceiling of all the quarterbacks that they have over the last couple of years. The chemistry between Calvin Ridley and T-Law didn't work out well a year ago. But here you are. You go up to Buffalo. You think you found something in Gabe Davis. Maybe that'll be a hit. They were right about the Christian Kirk contract. I wasn't huge on that. And they absolutely hit on that there. So for Trevor Lawrence, he was hurt last year, but everybody plays hurt. A lot of people play hurt in the NFL. But he's a guy I still believe in. But I think you made the best point is if you go away from him, who's the guy that's coming out of the tunnel on Sunday that's going to be either as good or better than Trevor Lawrence that you can go find right now?
You're starting over. I feel you, Dan. I understand. But this is why you have, guys that get serious going into contract year and the year before. It's game time, baby.
But go ahead, Depot.
This guy beat this other guy that's on this list that we're talking about, to get himself into the playoffs, though.
That's real. That is real. That's why I don't know what the heck the Cowboys are doing.
What do you think?
It feels like they're letting Dak play it out and go hit free agency.
I would, too.
Really?
It's time. It's time.
You just feel like it's stale, or is it Dak? What is it? Because you can talk me into it if I know that the guy that we're flipping the page to in 2025 is going to be a good quarterback. I don't see that right now.
Well, he's just what do you want? You want a championship or you want the James Harden of the NFL? He's going to give you all the stats regular season. He's going to give you that. But when you have like Dak, man, I'm going to play God, and I'm going to tell you that. Going into the playoffs, you got 60 throws left in the season. And can you make 52 of them? Can you make 48 of them?
You don't think he can?
No.
You don't think he can?
Can't make those throws, man. So I just think it's like, and I'm not saying that he's not a good quarterback in the NFL. Absolutely he is. Absolutely is a good quarterback, but he's not going to go win you a championship, Matty Ice.
He hasn't shown anybody that. He really hasn't shown anybody that, but I think we're all looking for, a lot of these owners are looking for their Pat Mahomes, and I think sometimes you just get the quarterback that's Phillip Rivers. Yeah. And sometimes you got to, because what's the other answer, you know?
A Dak. Yep.
So, and Dak's, he's in a good spot, right? Because he's got the no trade clause. They can't tag him.
Yeah.
So Dak's sitting back saying, either way,
I'm going and I'm going to get a check.
I'm getting paid from somebody.
It might not be you. We'd love to see him end up in somewhere like, Las Vegas, Pittsburgh. Some
maybe
options.
Tennessee, if that doesn't work out.
Yeah.
You don't like their weapons? No?
Maybe one of these rookie quarterbacks might not work out this year, and it could open up a lot next year.
I just think if Will Levis doesn't hit, they're going to be searching.
Yeah.
And then they can get in the mix. But I like your Raiders pick because they could be attractive with what they have going on at the wide receiver spot. Coming up next, we're going up to Cleveland. Joe Noga covers the Cleveland Guardians for Cleveland.com. The Guardians are rolling, and we're going to find out how and why they're getting it done. It's Rothman and Ice right here on The Fan.
We have so many local shows, I can't fit them in a 10-second promo. So let's just say we're live and local all damn day. The Fan.
When it comes to getting a new roof, are you confident letting just anyone on the roof of your home? I'm Craig Schottenstein, owner of Schottenstein Roofing. Our team is dedicated to delivering outstanding value on every roof we repair or replace. Whether residential or commercial, Schottenstein Roofing meets the needs of every customer. From roof installation and repair to siding and gutters, you name it, we do it. Call Schottenstein Roofing, 614-321-8888 to schedule your free inspection today. Go to SchottensteinRoofing.com.
Hey folks, Austin Ward here, and if that sizzling sound made your mouth water, you are in the right place. Let's talk about something sizzling. That's making a Bacon 180 with a Waken 180. Imagine dropping pounds while still enjoying that crispy, savory goodness. It's one of the 50 reasons I chose Awaken 180. 50 pounds in only 3 months, and I did it while still enjoying a ton of my favorite foods. The difference? I had my coach showing me how to enjoy them the right way. A full Bacon 180. But hey, maybe you're not a bacon fan. I personally can't relate, but no bacon? No problem. Awaken 180 caters to any diet or taste profile. Vegetarian, vegan, omnivore, even flexitarian. Yes, that's a thing, and you're covered too. The point, if you want to lose weight, lose it fast, and then keep it off, then make your own Bacon 180 with Awaken 180 online at awaken180weightloss.com.
1877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Donate today at carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K. Your car can be picked up as soon as the next day. Receive a tax deduction and vacation voucher.
1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Now accepting donations of land, homes, buildings, or any kind of real estate.
Bishop and Friends.
They used it as a rallying point, and it worked for them. And
so you're saying they leaked themselves? That wouldn't be the weirdest thing he's ever done.
Bishop and Friends.
Sponsored by Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Weekdays from 9 to noon.
The Fan.
You walk into your bathroom every morning and every night, so why not have it be something great? Hey, it's Anthony Rothman. You've been thinking about it, so do it. Let my friends at the Bath Authority transform yours into whatever you envision. With the Bath Authority, every unit can be custom built by you with the premium accents and accessories that you want. And it can all be installed in as little as 1 day by certified factory technicians. And right now, the Bath Authority is giving you $1,500 off a new shower or bath, plus 36 months of interest-free financing. TheBathAuthority.com. A better bath awaits.
Big things are happening on the east side.
We're ready to deal. Come negotiate during May's Dealin' Days at Lindsay Honda. Lower payments, better financing, more value for any trade. Shop lindsayhonda.com and see new Hondas with thousands in savings plus many other deals. We'll work hard to get you a payment you can afford. Now during May Dealin' Days at Lindsay Honda.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. See lindsayhonda.com for program details.
This is the sound of a well-tuned air conditioner ready for summer. This is the sound of an air conditioner that was not tuned up by Apex Pros.
Excuse me, I represent the Don't Make Stuff Up on the Radio Association.
I'm kind of doing something here.
That sound of a not tuned up air conditioner?
Oh, you mean this?
You made that up.
Well, it's a dramatization. See, most air conditioner troubles can be prevented with a simple tune-up before summer by Apex Pros. The pros who knows.
And that.
The pros who knows.
You can't say sentences like that.
Look, it's just our cute way of saying
that cute bear. Does a bear tune up my AC?
What? No, it's people. I mean, a person, a guy, maybe a gal.
Making stuff up.
An Apex tune-up helps your AC last longer, lowers your energy bills, and prevents this.
You did it again.
Man, you're a real hothead. Sit under this air conditioning.
What air conditioning? I don't hear any...
See? Schedule a tune-up at apexpros.com.
Hi, it's Alex, the friendly Apex Bear. No doubt about it, Columbus loves Apex Pros. apexpros.com.
Rothman and Ice is sponsored by your local Pella Window and Door showroom on Gemini Parkway. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Listen, learn, lay the points. This is Rothman and Ice.
Welcome back in. Matty Ice, DeVier Posey, been rocking out with you on a Tuesday. Thanks for your time. Going to use the Bryan Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Gas Hotline right now. Go up to the land, go up to Cleveland and talk some Guardians baseball with sports reporter Joe Noga at cleveland.com and the Plain Dealer. Joe, how you doing, man?
Doing great, guys. Great to be on.
Yeah, man. Thanks for your time. I want to go with a reunion that we saw pop off yesterday. Mr. Francisco Lindor returned home in a New York Mets uniform. I just want to get your assessment of that trade. And I know those can be tough decisions, but coming out on the other side, how do you think the Guardians did in the post-Francisco Lindor era?
I got to say, I think this is one of those rare trades where both sides sort of got what they wanted and sort of walk away from it with, on the plus side. The Guardians get Andres Jimenez ultimately from that deal, and he looks like a guy who's going to be a cornerstone of the franchise for, the next 6-7 years after signing an extension. And he's an elite defender and, has been at least above average, league average at the plate over the last couple of seasons. So worked out positive there. Lindor obviously goes to New York and gets the big contract, gets what he was seeking, and that was, exactly $1 million more than Fernando Tatis signed for a couple of weeks before he signed his extension. So I think it's a win-win for both sides.
Absolutely. Guardians on this hot streak right now, 4 in a row. What do they have to do to continue this play, and does it continue into the better part of the early summer?
Well, I think the biggest part about this most recent stretch of good play is the fact that the starting pitching has really started to get them deeper into games and, going beyond that fifth inning and giving them a chance to win and getting the ball to that bullpen, which has been, one of the best in all of baseball all season long. Now they're getting a shorter window to have to work, and you're seeing them be even more effective than they have been. It starts on that end of things, and the pitching has just been and continues to be just so good this season.
I want to dig a little bit more on the bullpen there and just talk about Clase and what you think makes him great, because we've been watching him here just the last couple of years, and he's no doubt just one of those guys to where he comes out of that door in the ninth inning and you got a 1-2 run lead or whatever it may be that you're trying to protect. Just feels like he infuses a lot of confidence in everybody. But watching him on a nightly basis, what makes Clase so good?
Yeah, it's just this year. I think the difference is that confidence and that focus that he had that he sort of maybe lost a little bit of last season with all the new rules and the pitch timer and all everything that went into making 2023 sort of a new and different feel on the mound for some guys. Clase really struggled with that, and this year You're seeing his focus is much better. He talked about that yesterday. Stephen Vogt has talked about how, he had a good year last year, but he wanted to have a great year this year, and he's put in the work on that. He's using his cutter a lot more. He's going to that 80% of the time now, as opposed to 67% of the time like he did last year. And his whiff rate has jumped up as well. He's getting more swing and miss with that. It's making his slider better, and you can see all these little things. But really, the difference here is last year, if he had an inning like he had on Sunday afternoon, where the wheels fell off the cart defensively and they scored a run and it was a blown save, but they came back and won the game. The next time out, he might have been a little rattled. This time, he comes out last night and just blows the doors off the Mets in the ninth inning, and it was good to see that. It was a big positive step over last year.
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously, Stephen Vogt is the right guy for this job. Rookie manager, 16-6 in his first start. Man, what is making this thing go? How is he the right guy for this job? Do you feel like the Guardians got the right one in him?
Yeah, I think they hit the lottery there. They hit the jackpot. Normally you don't want to be the guy that follows the guy, but this is the guy that followed the guy, and he's doing a great job. A thing that he keeps going back to, and a thing that he keeps mentioning when we talk to him in post games and even before games, he talks about how much the guys in the clubhouse love each other. He uses that word over and over again. These guys love each other, he says, over and over. And really that starts with him. If he doesn't make it okay for you guys in the clubhouse to express to each other how much you mean to each other, how much you love each other, and how much you want to play for each other, if it doesn't come from him at the top, then it's not going to happen. And you can definitely see that in the chemistry in this clubhouse. I think Austin Hedges has helped tremendously to sort of bring back and continue and nurture that feeling in the clubhouse. But Stephen Vogt is the reason it's okay to walk into that clubhouse and tell the guy sitting in the locker next to him, hey, man, I love you and I'm playing for you.
Joe Noga from Cleveland.com joining us here to talk about the first place Cleveland Guardians. Joe, I want to ask you just about Josh Naylor. He's my favorite Guardian to watch. I love watching that dude do his thing every single night. But it just seems like as a hitter, he just continues to get better and better.
Yeah, it's the growth that he has shown since he arrived in Cleveland, since that electrifying wild card series in 2020 against the Yankees. The steps that he has taken and the progress that he has made, the work that he has put in, it's not gone unnoticed. And he is, probably right up there behind Jose Ramirez in that clubhouse, the unquestioned leader in that clubhouse. He's, they don't do anything without running it past Josh and getting approval on that first. He's the kind of guy who sort of espouses and speaks to all of the ideals that you want in a clubhouse leader. I think it started really his evolution at the plate started in the offseason last year, where he just told himself and told everybody around him, hey, I'm not going to let them pull me out of the lineup when there's a lefty on the mound. I'm not going to be a platoon guy. I'm going to hit left-handed pitching, and I'm going to work on it so much that it becomes routine. And he has. His numbers against lefties are off the charts since about this time last year, and it's really paid off the work that he's put in. Every hitting coach and every coach you talk to about Josh says the work that he's put in against lefties is the difference that it's showing up now.
All right, Joe, we'll get you out of here on this one. The vibes are really good around the team. They're in first place atop the AL Central at the moment. But let's say come trade deadline, they feel like they need to go get more of something. What do you think that something would be after you've assessed this team for the last couple of months?
Yeah, I think starting pitching is the obvious answer there. You can go and get a bat, but they don't necessarily want to maybe pay the price for what a bat would cost them. Starting pitching is something you can always never have too much of, but there's a lot of teams that are going to be chasing that. I think one of the advantages they're going to have, or a nice thing they're going to have, is they've been waiting on Gavin Williams to come off the injured list since spring training, and he was a big piece down the stretch last year. I think it might not be a trade deadline acquisition, but if he's able to return sometime around the All-Star break, that might be your trade deadline acquisition is being able to activate Gavin Williams and reinsert him into the rotation.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. He's a sports reporter for Cleveland.com and the Plain Dealer, Joe Noga. Make sure you follow him on Twitter or X or whatever we're calling it, at Joe Noga, Nogacle. It's a game day, Joe, so I know you were busy, so thanks so much for your time, man.
Hey, guys, no problem. Thanks.
All right, take it easy. Joe Noga, was on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. We'll hit the finish line of the show next with Tell the Truth. It is Rothman and Ice right here on The Fan.
An ex-jock and a very puffy, smooth-faced man. These are the first voices you should hear. Morning Juice. Your wake-up service.
Weekday mornings from 6 to 9.
The Fan.
Ever fight the good fight? That's pretty much my go-to move. I always want to come through for the people that count on us, to stand up for what's right, and I'll never stop fighting that fight. But when it comes to word games, I pick my battles. Take tune-ups. In Columbus, tune-up now seems to mean cursory inspection instead of deep cleaning and maintenance. And as much as I'd love to set the record straight, that ship has sailed. So for now on, my Eco AC technicians won't call them tune-ups. They'll Ecofy, Servicefy, and Restorify your AC.
Restorify? Son, I don't think your cornbread's done in the middle.
Look, if people want to call a drive-by inspection and sales pitch a tune-up, I don't want to fight them on the label. Whether you want to call it an eco-ification or not. The important part is we'll get your system fully cleaned, greened, and recalibrated to factory spec condition. Want a con job mislabeled as a tune-up? Call someone else. Want to Ecofy your AC back to perfect working order for only $89? Call
GetEco.com.
1877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Donate today at carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K. Your car can be picked up as soon as the next day. Receive a tax deduction and vacation voucher.
1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Now accepting donations of land, homes, buildings, or any kind of real estate.
I'm Leslie from Pella Columbus.
And I'm Wilson from the other window place.
Wilson, what's with the magic wand?
I'm trying to make our screens do that vanishing thingy yours do.
You mean the disappearing roll screens? Where the screen is there if you want it, or retracts and disappears if you don't?
Yeah, now, is that done with real magic?
No, it's not.
So I should probably take back the wizard's robe.
Yeah, I would. Get the window that Columbus homeowners rate the most trusted at PellaColumbus.com.
All your favorite fan shows are on YouTube. Watch us live or on demand by searching 971 The Fan. Which fan host will awkwardly scratch their privates? Let's find out together. Find us on YouTube, The Fan.
Summer is almost here, and NBC4 Today is giving you a chance to swim in cash. Get ready for summer. Check out NBC4 Today every morning, and you could win $400. Watch to win all this week on NBC4 Today at 6 a.m.
Tuesday, someone's life will change forever.
A new winner will be crowned on the season finale of The Voice.
Which coach is going to get their crown as champion?
Reba McEntire, Chance the Rapper, Dan and Shay, or John Legend.
I'm going to let you in on a little secret.
What?
You will see special performances from Keith Urban, Kate Hudson, the Black Keys, and Thomas Rhett.
The season finale of The Voice.
Live Tuesday on NBC.
Tonight beginning at 8 on NBC4. Local for you. Summer is almost here, and NBC4 Today is giving you a chance to swim in cash. Get ready for summer. Check out NBC4 Today every morning, and you could win $400. Watch to win all this week on NBC4 Today at 6 a.m.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter, and when I was looking to get a new roof on my home, I wanted a company with staying power, a company that had been in business for more than 30 years, built on the principles of honesty, integrity, and transparency. Well, there was nowhere else to go than Newman Roofing. 32 years later, and hundreds of five-star reviews from customers that have been blown away with the service that they've received. Some of the customers now, well, they've been around so long, they're getting their second Newman roof, and that speaks to the quality and the way Tim and his team do things. During a time where service is lacking in the service industry, companies like Newman Roofing are leading the way, providing white glove experience to all of their customers, just like they did to me and my family. So when it comes time to get your roof replaced, you're going to want to go with a company you can trust, and that's Newman Roofing. Don't just get a roof, get a Newman roof. Call 614-NEW-ROOF or go visit them online at newmanroofing.com. That's newmanroofing.com.
The Fan Guest Hotline is sponsored by Accurate Heating and Cooling and Bryant, doing whatever it takes to keep you and your home comfortable. The Fan.
Tell the Truth with Rothman and Ice.
Sponsored by Twin Peaks, home of the 29-degree draft beer.
All right, CB, what do you got cooked up today?
All right, today's National Day of Today is National Strawberries and Cream Day. So I wanted to ask you to tell the truth. Which is superior, strawberries and cream or peaches and cream?
I'm out on both. I can't eat like the whipped cream stuff like that. I have to have like some crunch in there. So you would have to give me like some granola or something like that. For whatever it is, I've never been able to just eat whipped cream or yogurt or anything like that. So my palate hasn't even tasted peaches and cream. Now, I've listened to the song by 112 all the time, Peaches and Cream, which is a classic, right? You know about that song. But I've never eaten, strawberries or cream or peaches and cream, so I can't give you a take on this, Depot.
Okay, yeah, no, I like the strawberries and cream, like the shortcake joints, CB, you get from Kroger's around this time of year. You get the little circle joints, you cut up the strawberries, throw the sugar in there, put the strawberries in the refrigerator for 3 to 4 hours, maybe even a night.
Okay.
Then you take a spoon, put the strawberries back on there. Whipped cream. That's all you need.
See, I can roll with that. That's the texture I need.
Okay.
Because I thought when I heard CB talk about strawberries and cream, you know how they do like the Wimbledon at the tennis tournament? I believe they're famous for that too. Like I can't just eat that solo. I need something else. But when you talk about like maybe a pastry or a mini cake underneath, yeah, that's a party I think I can attend. I'm with you on that.
The truth? It's overrated.
All right, yesterday we saw an announcement of an offer for 2028 running back prospect Chris Davis III from Auburn. On the surface, that probably doesn't ring a bell to you, and it probably doesn't mean a whole lot, but if I told you he is the son of Chris Davis Jr., who was the player that returned the kick six against Alabama for Auburn back in 2013, my question to you is, tell the truth, does that make you feel old?
Wait.
That guy.
So to be fair, he has not played a down of high school football yet because he is the class of 2028, but Hugh Freeze and Auburn have now offered him a scholarship, and his dad was the guy that returned the kick six against Alabama in 2013.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, see, I thought it was crazy when I heard Drake Kirkpatrick's kid is playing. Now, that makes me feel old, truth.
Yeah, that's first of all, CB, I've been washed for a couple of years now, but these are the type of stories that absolutely make me feel old, especially now, like since Bronny has been in the spotlight a lot recently.
Absolutely.
Like I remember when Bron was carrying him around like a mini football.
Or like when Tim Duncan asked LeBron, how was the birth of your son in the finals, and he was talking about Bronny.
Exactly. Like, so yeah, I've been washed. We got too many. We got Frank Gore Jr. We had Antonio Gates Jr.
Marvin
I think
Harrison.
Yeah, it's just like, we're getting to that point, CB. Old heads now.
You calling me a liar?
I ain't calling you a truther.
All right, today's fan poll, the question is simply, who's going to win the Stanley Cup? Will it be the Panthers, the Rangers, the Stars, or the Oilers?
Wow. It's been a fun play. Game 7 last night was crazy. I like Edmonton. I do like Edmonton. But I'm going to go with some of the stuff, Stevie. I like to keep it simple. Like the Final Four, which sweaters do I like the most? And there's something about that red, white, and blue with the Rangers that I like. We used to, we had Panarin here, Breadman for the CBJ.
Yep.
So give me New York.
And go with New York?
I think I'm going with New York and the Breadman.
I just like one-offs, and there's just something about a Florida hockey team winning it that just makes me laugh. And I'm going with the Panthers. And I like the Max Strus move, too, like that he pulled in Boston.
Yeah, I did see that. I did like that.
I'm going with the Panthers.
And that, my boy, is a damn truth.
All right, a lot of hype today from videos showing Kyler Murray throwing to Marvin Harrison Jr. against air, obviously. But anytime we see OTA videos, we get excited. My question to you, though, pertains to fantasy. Will Kyler Murray, tell the truth, get back into the quarterback 10-12 range like he was prior to his injury?
What do you think, Depot?
I think having a guy like Marvin Harrison Jr. will get you in there. I'm going on a limb. I saw his video for the draft and how excited he was, and that made me happy because he knows what he's getting Absolutely. Marvin Harrison gets him back in the top 15, top 10 quarterback.
It's just availability for Kyler.
Yeah.
Because he is one of those real dual threat quarterbacks that can scare the crap out of you if you're a defense. He's not the tallest guy, which we all know, but the arm strength has always been legit to me. And his dancing ability, getting out of the pocket, I think is good. So I see the vision now because you can start to see the structure come into place of what their offense could be, a few years down the road. James Conner's giving them some good years, but he's a little up there in age. But you bring in Trey Benson from Florida State, their running back a year ago. You mentioned Marvin. We know what he is going to do. And I really like as well McBride, the tight end. That shows some promise, too. So it's starting to come together, and maybe, the former Buckeye and Paris Johnson Jr. is going to be the franchise left tackle of the future. So, yeah, CB, I'm in on Kyler getting to where you had him slotted.
Why you always lying?
All right, we will finish up with a would you rather. Would you rather find a $100 bill floating in a public toilet or a $20 bill in your own pocket?
Oh, the $20 bill all day and tomorrow. Like, I'm not putting my hand in a public toilet.
Okay, we talking airport toilet? We talking toilet at a game?
I guess you get to choose it because it's very just general public.
Gas station toilet?
Let me throw this at you. A porta potty at the memorial.
I'll take that 20 at the house.
It's about 4 o'clock in the afternoon at the memorial on a Friday.
So this is my secret. When I'm on a road trip, stop at a hotel.
That's smart.
Now, if we're talking a hotel like a Hampton Inn on 70 West.
Elbow deep. In there,
yeah. But if you're talking a porta potty at the memorial, absolutely not.
Oh, man. Yeah, you can see some things walking around the memorial. That is for sure. Some people that didn't eat enough breakfast, they did not soaking up all the alcohol or none of those things. Hey, before we leave and hand it over to Common Man and T-Bone from 3 to 6, I just want to remind you, if you missed Brenden Deeg talking all things NFL, Bill Bender, college football, some nuggets with him. And then Joe Noga, we went up to Cleveland to talk about the red hot Guardians. Wherever you get your podcast, type in Rothman and Ice. Those interviews and a lot more will be available for you. Don't forget to use the Fan app as well. Wherever you go, take the Fan app with you, and we'll be there as well. Depot, appreciate your time.
No problem.
As always, man, looking forward to doing the show again with you sooner rather than later. CB, great job on the board repping Dayton and the Guardians today. And folks, thanks so much for your time. We appreciate you as always. We will be back tomorrow at high noon to chop it up with you about everything happening around the sports world. It's Rothman and Ice right here on The Fan.
If you miss a live show, you can catch the podcast. If you miss the podcast, our hosts have volunteered to have dinner with you.
Ma, the meatloaf!
The Fan. This is a Fan Action Update.
This action update is brought to you by Tipico. Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. The NBA Eastern Conference Finals starts tonight. Boston's a 10.5-point favorite, minus 475 on the money line. The Pacers are plus 380 tonight to pull off the upset, and the total is at 221.5 at Tipico. 7 of the last 8 conference final game ones have gone over the total by an average of 17 points per game. For your Tipico action update, I'm Scotty Vegas.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. Guys, as we get older, it's inevitable. There's going to be parts of your body that let you down. Sometimes it's your knees, sometimes it's your elbow. Maybe your back is hurting you a bit more than it used to. Maybe it's another part of your body that's letting you down. In the bedroom, let's say. And you need to get your confidence back. That's where my guys and my gals at Blue Chew step in. Blue Chew is a unique online service that delivers the same active ingredients as Viagra and Cialis, but in chewable form and at a fraction of the cost. Blue Chew is an online prescription service, so you don't have to go to the doctor's office. There's no awkward conversations, no waiting in line at the pharmacy, and the products ship right to your door in a discreet package. And if you don't like swallowing pills, you don't have to. Blue Chew tablets are, of course, chewable. If you need to get your confidence back in the bedroom, visit BlueChew.com. Plus, I've got a special deal for you. Try Blue Chew free when you use promo code BONE at checkout. Just pay $5 shipping. BlueChew.com, promo code BONE, and you get to try Blue Chew for free, plus the $5 shipping. Just use promo code BONE at BlueChew.com.
Are you confident letting just anyone on the roof of your home? I'm Craig Schottenstein, owner of Schottenstein Roofing. Our team is dedicated to delivering outstanding value on every roof we repair or replace. Schottenstein Roofing. Go to SchottensteinRoofing.com.
Your bathroom is boring and basic too. It seems like there's nothing you can do. A better bath awaits. You'll feel brand new, relaxing in a world of peace at the Bath Authority.
And right now, get $1,500 off a new shower or bath, plus 36 months of interest-free financing. It can all be installed in as little as 1 day.
You're our priority at the Bath Authority.
It's the Kia Summer Sticker Sales Event. So give your friends something to look at and make this a summer to share and save with a capable Kia SUV like the Sorento, Sportage, Seltos, or Telluride, or a powerful sedan like the fun-to-drive Forte, each backed by a 10-year, 100,000-mile limited warranty. And for a limited time, get 1.9% APR for 48 months for well-qualified buyers and $1,000 bonus cash on specially tagged 2024 Sportage and Sorento models. Kia, movement that inspires.
Call 800-333-4KIA for details. Financing for 24 to 48 months from Kia Finance, subject to credit approval for purchase of a new 2024 Sportage or Sorento. Excludes hybrids and PHEVs. $2,165 per month per 1,000 financed at 48 months. $1,000 bonus cash on specially tagged models must be applied as down payment. Must take delivery by 7/8/24. Limited inventory. Warranty is a limited powertrain warranty. See retailer for details.
Open your door to a beautiful Nature Stone basement floor. This is Paul Keels for Nature Stone. Save up to 50% during their May is for Moms sales event. Schedule your free cost estimate today at naturestone.com. It's not just a floor. Wow. It's